Chapter 1 A 100x Cashback System. Shanghai, a city full of vitality and opportunities. It is full of tall buildings and busy streets, where people are always busy and rushing about, chasing their dreams and working hard for a living. Yifeng, a senior at Shanghai University, is the school heartthrob. At 185 centimeters tall, he has broad shoulders and smooth muscle lines, and with a handsome and sunny face, he attracts the attention of the opposite sex. Today is the third anniversary of Yifeng's relationship with his girlfriend Mengyu, and he has also received his first month's salary from his internship, 5,000 huaxia currency. He took 2 hours off work early with his supervisor and carefully selected a gift, planning to surprise Mengyu. Yifeng rode his small electric moped to the bottom of the building not far from his girlfriend Mengyu's internship, waiting for her to get off work. As he looked at the people coming out one after the other, Yifeng watched carefully, afraid of missing her. From afar, a girl wearing a white t-shirt and a black knee-length skirt appeared in his line of sight. Her long, silky hair was moving in the breeze. Yifeng's heart was filled with 1,000 thoughts as he watched Mengyu looking around. Just as Yifeng was about to go over, he saw a black Audi A6 pull up next to Mengyu. A man in his 30s got out of the car, and Mengyu, full of shyness, threw herself into his arms and gave him a hug. In an instant, Yifeng stood still. With great difficulty, he suppressed the urge to hit someone and rushed over to ask for clarification. Mengyu, who is he? Mengyu, who was hugging him, was startled and quickly let go of the man. She looked at Yifeng, whose eyes were red with anger, and fearfully hugged the man's arm again. The Audi man also reacted, patting Mengyu's back to reassure her. You must be Yaya's boyfriend, right? No, you should be her ex-boyfriend. I'm her boyfriend now. Please don't harass my girlfriend in the future, or the consequences will be serious, the Audi man said with a sneer. Yaya, didn't we promise to work hard together and get married after graduation? Have you forgotten the oath we made? Yifeng, since you caught me today, I'll make it clear to you. Let's break up. You can't give me the life I want. Love can't feed you. Love needs material support, and you're a penniless bum. Please don't harass me in the future, or my boyfriend will get angry. Kid, get lost quickly. You're not good enough for Yaya. After saying this, he gave Mengyu a hard pinch on her but. Go wait for me in the car. I've booked a hotel. Tonight, I'll make you beg for mercy. Yifeng's heart broke into pieces as he watched the two flirt in front of him. Looking at the car driving away, and the people pointing and talking, Yifeng closed his eyes and let the tears flow from the corners of his eyes. He stood in the same place for a long time, as if bidding farewell to his youth, or mourning his dead love. Images of the two flashed through his mind over the past few years, of laughter and sadness. Let it go, maybe he never really knew her. 3 years of feelings were no match for material temptation. A sharp pain shot through his brain. Congratulations, host, you have awakened to the 100x cashback system. The host can get 100x cashback for any amount spent. The cashback amount is obtained through normal channels, so please feel free to use it. Don't worry about being sliced up. To ensure that the host's spending is not limited, the host is specially rewarded with a Global Bank Supreme Black Card. All cashback is credited to the Black Card account and has been sent to the host's backpack. Yifeng was startled by the voice in his head, and then immediately opened his backpack. A card that emitted a black light was quietly lying in the bag. This was not a hallucination. He had really been chosen by the system. As a fan of online literature, Yifeng was no stranger to the system. He had once fantasized about being hit by the system one day and reaching the pinnacle of his life. He never expected the system to actually come today after their breakup. An excited Yifeng helped the small electric moped that had fallen on the side of the road to its feet and went to the convenience store next door. Boss, give me a bottle of mineral water. After scanning the QR code to pay, the pleasant voice came as expected. Congratulations, the host has spent 2 yuan, and 200 yuan has been credited to your Supreme Black Card with the last digit 8888. Boss, get me a box of Huazi. Young man, can you pay for everything together? This constant hassle is tiring for an old man like me. Hey, old man, I'll be careful. Had ha. Congratulations, host, you have spent 50 yuan, and 5,000 yuan cashback has been credited to the Black Card with the last digit 8888. Leaving the convenience store, Yifeng returned to the rented room. Looking at this small space, he secretly decided that he must work hard to earn cashback. Ding ding ding, a ringtone interrupted Yifeng's thoughts. He took out his phone and saw that it was Yang Dong, the leader of their dormitory at Shanghai University. There were 4 people in the dormitory: Yang Dong, the leader; Cheng Wan, the second oldest; Wang Chao, the third oldest; and Yi Feng, the youngest. The 4 of them had been in the same dormitory since their first year of university and were very close. "What do you need, boss?" Fourth oldest, me, second oldest, and third oldest are at the Sichuan hot pot restaurant in front of the university. Hurry up and come, you're the only one missing. Okay, boss, I'll be there in a minute. The Lao Sichuan hot pot restaurant is very popular with students because it is close to the university and the food is cheap. It is often full. Inside the restaurant, Yang Dongjiang is giving instructions to Chang Wan and Wang Chao. When the 4th one arrives, don't mention the breakup to him. Just let him drink and let him vent. Don't look at the 4th one, he is usually carefree, but in fact he is too stubborn. Okay, boss. You're right about Mengyu. 4th brother likes her so much, but today he posted a photo of them kissing in his circle of friends, and the background is a love hotel. He's so shameless. Yes, 4th brother has been with him for so many years, and they've only held hands and hugged. I didn't expect that just after breaking up, he would go to a hotel with someone. What a slut. It's a pity about 4th brother. Yi Feng had already arrived at the door by taxi, and another wave of cashback had arrived. He walked into the old Sichuan hot pot restaurant and saw Yang Dong and the others sitting in the corner. He immediately walked up to them. Boss, number 2, number 3, what brings you all together today? How's your internship going? My internship pay arrived today, so no one's buying today, I'll pay. With that, Yi Feng pulled out a stool and sat down, expertly opening a bottle of beer and pouring himself a glass. The 3 of them looked at each other in surprise. Did the 4th one not check his moments? Still don't know? The 4 of them first had a toast. Yang Chen, the eldest, said, 4th one, you didn't order too much food. If you want to eat something else, let us know. Yi Feng called the waiter and ordered an additional portion of tripe, a portion of duck intestines, and 2 or 3 lamb dishes. We're not far from graduation, so what are your plans? Yi Feng picked up his glass and drained it, before continuing. Yang Dong also drained his glass, before saying, my family has made arrangements for me. After graduation, I'll go straight to a company in the family to gain some experience. Changwen pushed his glasses up his nose and said, I plan to go back to my hometown and take the civil service exam. My parents are getting old, and I'm an only child, so I want to go home. Chapter 2 Fired? Wang Chao saw that the mood was a bit low after Changwen finished speaking, so he spoke up, don't worry, your brother Chao is not leaving. I plan to buy a house in Thompson Riviera in the future. Everyone looked at Wang Chao and laughed at his antics, scolding him, get lost, you still want to buy a house in Thompson Riviera, you couldn't even sell it for a toilet. As time passed, the 4 men were surrounded by more and more empty bottles, and their faces began to flush. At this point, Wang Chao looked at Yi Feng and said slowly, Lao Si, did you break up? Yes, just today. Then why do you look like you're fine? Hey, what if something happens? I'm glad I saw this person clearly, and breaking up is good. Let's stop the loss in time, Yi Feng said slowly. Come drink up today and don't worry about tomorrow. Seeing that the wine was getting stronger, Yi Feng excused himself to go to the bathroom, went to the front desk, and ordered another case of wine before settling the bill. Congratulations, host, you have spent 650 yuan and received a cashback of 65,000 yuan, which has been credited to your black card with the last digits 8888. Back at the table, he took a bottle of wine for each person, and the 4 of them reminisced about the past. After 4 years of living together day and night, they were about to go their separate ways, and all felt the passage of time. The 4 of them kept pushing cups and glasses back and forth, and the night gradually grew darker. The 4 of them supported each other as they sang, friends walk together for life, those days are gone, a lifetime and a sentence, a lifetime of love and a cup of wine. It was already past 11 o'clock when they returned to the rental house. After washing his face carelessly, Yi Feng fell asleep on the bed. Early the next morning, the alarm woke up Yi Feng from his sleep. He rubbed his groggy head, drank a big glass of water, and struggled to get up to wash up. After changing his clothes, Yi Feng rode his small electric moped to the company. He arrived at the company and greeted the receptionist before going to his workstation. Zhang Tao, also an intern, came up to him and said, Yi Feng, did you hear? Since our group of interns did a good job on the previous project, we're going to have an early promotion. I heard the team leader say by the bathroom door that the spot should be yours. Ha? Me? Yes, you're the most capable intern in our group, so who else would it be if not you? Okay, if I get the permanent position, I'll buy you dinner. Although Yifeng didn't care about getting the permanent position after he had the system, he was still very happy to be recognized for his abilities. At this time, the supervisor Wang Gang walked out of the office and came to the office area. Everyone, stop what you're doing for a moment, I have two things to announce. Wang Gang looked at the people who had stopped what they were doing and looked at him, nodding with satisfaction. The first thing is that the company has decided to promote an intern early. That person is Wang Ziqiang. There was a murmur of discussion in the crowd. This Wang Ziqiang had no ability and knew nothing about the ways of the world. Everyone thought that he would be the first to be laid off, so how could he be given an early promotion? Could it be true that the supervisor Wang Gang was really Wang Ziqiang's uncle? Wang Gang coughed twice. Quiet down. Now I will announce the second thing. Yifeng has offended our client, causing the client to be very dissatisfied. The company has now decided to end Yifeng's internship early. Yifeng, you can pack up and leave now. Yifeng stood up. Wang Gang, they say this useless Wang Ziqiang is related to you, and now it seems to be true. A piece of trash with no skills has actually been the first to get the first permanent position. Do you really think we are blind? It doesn't matter, you say I offended the customer? Where did I offend the customer? I haven't seen a customer in the month I've been here, and I'm not taking the blame for this. Now pack your things and get out immediately, this is outrageous. Wang Gang, who had been exposed by Yifeng to his face, looked very angry. Yifeng simply packed up his things and said to Wang Gang, I've long since wanted to quit. You old bastard, just watch, when your time comes, I'll be there. With the pitying looks of the others, Yifeng strode away. What a pity, Yifeng was conscientious and responsible at work, and had outstanding abilities, and yet he was laid off. I think Wang Gang is doing this to make way for Wang Ziqiang. It's said that a new team will be formed, and it's estimated that 80% chance is that the team leader will be his nephew. Look at the smug look on Wang Ziqiang's face, it's disgusting. Okay, stop it. The higher-ups can crush you with their power. If they hear us, they might make things difficult for us. After leaving the company, he found a trash can and threw away the packed things. How could Yifeng, who had a system, work for someone else in the future? It's impossible to work for someone else. Start enjoying life. After getting on his electric moped, Yifeng planned to get himself a new mobile phone first. The one he was using was really slow, and he had previously been reluctant to replace it, saving the money to buy Mengyu a present. Now it was time to treat himself a little. Seeing a Huawei flagship store on the roadside, he walked in. As soon as he entered, a shop assistant came up to him enthusiastically. Hello, sir, do you need to buy a mobile phone or tablet? Yes, I'd like to buy a mobile phone. Do you have any recommendations? Sir, if you haven't decided on a model, you can come to the experience area to try them out, so that it will be easier for you to choose. He went to the experience area, tried out a few phones, pointed at the Huawei Mate 60 Pro, and said to the clerk, I'll take this one. At that moment, a teasing female voice came from behind him. Yo yo yo! Isn't this Yifeng, the talented and handsome student at our Magic City University? I heard you got dumped by Yu every month. Ha, look at yourself, you look so poor, how can you match up to our Yu? I would have dumped you a long time ago. Yifeng looked in the direction of the voice. Zhang Meng, Mengyu's best friend, had said a lot of bad things about him at Mengyu's. A typical gold-digging woman. Zhang Meng, your mouth still stinks, remember to brush your teeth before you go out in the future. Yifeng didn't indulge her either, but retorted back. You have no quality at all. How come you came here to surf the internet after being dumped? Looking at you, you can't even afford a Huawei phone. Ha, how do you know I can't afford it? I'm here to buy a phone. Ha, you can just keep bragging. With your stingy appearance, would you dare to buy a Huawei? You don't know, I was the one who introduced Yeya's boyfriend to her. How about that? Aren't you angry? Zhang Meng continued to mock. Then I should thank you, otherwise how could I recognize her true colors? After saying that, Yifeng said to the clerk, let's go pay. At the counter, plus a series of products such as accessories, Yifeng paid a total of 11,000 yuan. Congratulations, the host has spent 11,000 yuan and received a cashback of 1.1 million yuan, which has been credited to the black card with the last digit 8888. Chapter 3 Crazy Spending. After changing the SIM card and taking the handbag, he was about to leave. Zhang Meng, who was watching from the side, looked surprised. How could it be? How could Yifeng afford to buy such an expensive phone? She stepped up to Yifeng and pointed at him, saying, "Good, so you've been pretending to be poor and deceiving Yaya. You really are a scumbag, and you deserve to be dumped. Have you said enough?" "If you've said enough, get out of the way and don't block my way," Yifeng said coldly as he looked at her. Feeling a chill rush over, Zhang Meng subconsciously made way. Yifeng walked straight away. Behind him, Zhang Meng reacted and suddenly felt humiliated. She felt how she had let Yifeng go ahead of her. Outraged, she stormed out of the door and cursed at Yifeng's departing direction. Yifeng, riding his little electric moped, strolled leisurely on the road. Checking the balance, he saw that the accumulated cashback in his black card had reached 1.2 million. It felt really good to earn $1 million a day. Arriving at Wanda Plaza, Yifeng activated the spend like crazy mode. Walking into the Armani store, a few salespersons were sitting around leisurely, not getting up when they saw Yifeng arrive, but chatting among themselves. Frowning, Yifeng paid no attention and looked around on his own. After walking around a bit, he set his eyes on 2 casual wear outfits and immediately said to the salesperson, "Bring these 2 outfits out for me to try on." The clerk walked over reluctantly and smiled falsely at Yifeng in his duty. "Sir, these 2 sets of clothes total 350,000 yuan. Are you sure you want to try them on? Are you afraid I can't pay?" Yifeng said coldly. "No, sir, I'm just worried about unnecessary trouble if they get damaged. If you insist, I'll go get them for you." The clerk looked as if he were saying you just can't pay. "Go get them," Yifeng said coldly. In a short while, the clerk brought the clothes. Yifeng went to the dressing room to change, and looked at himself in the mirror. Clothes make the man, as the saying goes, and Yifeng's temperament immediately improved a notch. He nodded with satisfaction, took out the black card and handed it to the clerk, swiped the card. The clerk was also taken aback. She didn't expect to actually swipe the card, and she was prepared for a wasted effort. "Yes, sir." The clerk looked at the black card in her hands and was shocked. Although she didn't know the significance of the Supreme Black Card of Global Bank, she knew from the material of the card and the name of Global Bank that the person who could have such a card was definitely not an ordinary person. After swiping the card, the clerk respectfully handed the card to Yifeng with both hands. "Congratulations to the host, you have spent 350,000 and received a cashback of 35 million, which has been credited to the Supreme Black Card with the last digit 8888. Looking at his suddenly increased wealth, he was overjoyed and couldn't care less about the unpleasantness before. He picked up the card and left. Today he was going to spend like crazy. His next target, Patek Philippe. Entering the store, the clerk warmly greeted him, and the previous scene did not recur, probably because of his expensive attire. The clerk enthusiastically recommended, and after much consideration, Yifeng selected a Patek Philippe Phantom worth 7 million. Yifeng then bought an Hermes belt and men's leather bag. When he left Wanda Plaza, the system had already returned a staggering 1 billion in cash. Standing at the entrance to the square, feeling the warmth of the sun on his body, Yifeng shouted awesome. The crowd around him cast strange glances. He rode his little electric moped to his next destination, the Mercedes-Benz 4S store. When Yifeng arrived on his little electric moped, the security guard at the door was stunned. A handsome young man was dressed in all kinds of expensive high-end clothes and riding a little electric moped. Now do all the rich people play like this? When he arrived in the store, Yifeng went straight to the DG. He had liked this car for a long time and had once dreamed of taking his beloved girl on a trip in it. When he arrived at the booth, he was full of excitement as he looked at his dream car. At that moment, an unharmonious voice came from behind. "Yeah, isn't that your poor ex-boyfriend? Look at his lecherous smile, anyone would think he has a crush on the car. Ha ha. Brother Wang, don't keep mentioning him. Yeah only has eyes for you now. That poor guy must be hanging around just to get a free meal. He's not as capable as you, and can't afford a Mercedes." Looking at this shameless duo, Yifeng sighed. He had not checked the almanac before going out today, and ran into these 2 dogs and bitches. "Sales lady, is there a current model of the G-Class available?" Yifeng ignored them and said to the salesperson standing nearby. "Sir, there is a top-of-the-line Benz in the store right now. If you buy it, you can pick it up this afternoon," the salesperson Linny said from the side. She had heard all the ridicule the 2 had just directed at Yifeng. These 2 were fools, right? This gentleman was dressed in big-name brands, especially the Patek Philippe on Yifeng's wrist, which she had accidentally glanced at and realized was worth at least several million. This Mr. Yi was worth at least 100 million. Ha, Yifeng, you actually still ask if there are any cars available? Are you here to make fun of me? You just lost your internship, and you should only have less than 5,000 yuan on you. And you still have the nerve to want to buy a big G. Do you have the strength to do that? Wang Yang mocked. Yifeng looked at him coldly and said, so it was you who did it. What kind of person is that scum Wang Gang to you? Ha, you just found out that I did it. Ha, Wang Gang is my cousin. I'll tell you, offend me, Wang Yang, and I'll make sure you can't survive in the city. Hurry up and go back to your hometown. Wang Yang's taunts became increasingly reckless. You think this will discourage me? You underestimate me. Without the system, Yifeng would not have had the confidence, but now, he was not afraid of anyone. Underestimate you? Ha, I've never underestimated you. Dare you make a bet with me? If I can buy this big G, you kneel down and bark like a dog 3 times. You? You can't even afford the wheels of the big G. Ha, I agree, if you buy it, don't bark 3 times, 100 times is fine, but do you have the strength? Yes, just look at you, how can you compare with Brother Wang, a poor loser? Meng Yu on the side also mocked. After listening to Wang Yang's promise, Yifeng took out his black card and said to the salesperson Lin Yi, get the contract ready, I'll pay by card directly. Lin Yi respectfully took the card and said, Mr. Yi, please wait a moment, I'll go take care of it right away. 10 minutes later, Lin Yi returned to Yifeng with the contract. Mr. Yi, the contract is ready, you can pick up the car anytime after you sign it. After signing, the system's prompt for cashback also arrived. Congratulations, host, you have spent 2.1 million and received a cashback of 210 million, which has been credited to your black card with the last digits 8888. Wang Yang and Meng Yu looked at each other in disbelief. How is that possible? How can you afford it? You and the salesperson must be in cahoots. You must have teamed up to rip me off. Chapter 4 First Car of Life. Lin Yi saw that the two were obviously cheating, and she was also full of contempt. This gentleman and lady, Mr. Yi, did indeed pay the full price for this Mercedes-Benz G-Class, and I guarantee it with the reputation of our Mercedes-Benz over the past century. Besides, with Mr. Yi's wealth, it is very easy to buy a 2.1 million car. Do you see Mr. Yi's watch? It is the classic Patek Philippe Phantom, priced at 7 million. Looking at the two of them standing stock still, Yifeng said coldly, complete your bet, and kneel down and bark like a dog. This is impossible, how can you afford it? Are you saying that you were lying to me all along? You are obviously so rich, why did you pretend to be so poor? Otherwise, why would I leave you? At this moment, Meng Yu's heart was very complex. She really liked Yifeng. He was good-looking, fit, and capable. He was the envy of everyone wherever he went. But all of that could not be used to pay the bills. In order to have a better life, she listened to the persuasion of her best friend Zhang Meng and abandoned Yifeng and chose Wang Yang. But now it seems that everything is so ridiculous. She has thrown away a piece of jade. Wang Yang, who was standing nearby, turned red in the face and gave Meng Yu a fierce slap. Shut up. Follow me. He would not kneel down and bark like a dog. He urgently needed to escape from this place that humiliated him. Kid, don't think that just because you have a few bucks you can compete with me. The mountain may not turn, but the water will. We'll see. Saying these harsh words, Wang Yang dragged Meng Yu away in a panic. Looking at the two people leaving, Yifeng felt a burst of disappointment. He was not disappointed in Meng Yu, but in his former self. At the time, had he gone blind and chosen such a gold-digging woman as his girlfriend? Mr. Yi, are you just going to let them go so easily? In Lin Yi's opinion, for these two people, they must be severely humiliated and take revenge on them to feel better. Let them go. The devil is said to be small, but not big. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Driving his beloved Grand G, Yifeng left the 4S shop, browsing the beautiful scenery of the city along the way. He couldn't help but sigh, it's really TMD cool not having to go to work, and hey, it's even TMD cooler not having to go to work and still having money. Ding, 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 the phone rang at this moment. Yifeng picked up the phone and pressed the answer button. A pleasant voice came through. Brother, guess who this is? Yifeng listened to the voice on the phone with a smile on his face. This was his younger sister Yi Lin. Since they were young, the siblings had had a very close relationship, and his sister was very dependent on him. Let me guess, is it our little pig Lin? Naughty, you're just teasing me, brother. By the way, brother, there's good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first? Yi Lin said coquettishly. Then I'll hear the bad news first. Well, brother, why aren't you following the routine? There is no bad news. Hee hee, the good news is that my admission notice has come, and you can guess which university it is? Well, is it Peking University? Hee hee, our family has produced a great talent. No, brother is really stupid, I was admitted to Shanghai University. Hee hee, I can see you soon. Are you looking forward to your cute little sister coming? No, you little girl, you're so quirky, I don't know how you're going to torture me when you come. Naughty, brother, in a few days, my parents will hold a graduation banquet for me, will you have time to come back and attend? Well, I will definitely attend the graduation banquet for our little princess. Yes. You're the best, brother. I have to go now, my parents are calling me to eat, and you have to remember to eat too. Yi Feng hung up the phone with a smile on his face. He loved his younger sister very much. When Yilin got into trouble as a child and was beaten by their mother, she would run to Yi Feng's side, sticking her tongue out at their mother with a proud look on her face. For this reason, he had been implicated a lot. On the other side, Yilin ran out of the room after finishing her phone call. You girl, you're so big now, but you're still so impetuous, not at all like a girl should be. Hurry up and come eat, Ye's mother set the table and then scolded Yilin. Yi, come out and wash your hands and eat. Every day after work you fiddle with your plants and flowers, and you never help me. I know, I'm coming. You're so capable, and I just get in the way, Ye's father said, trying to be nice. You old man, all you do is talk. Eat your food, Ye's mother said, amused. Mom and Dad, I just called my brother, and he said he'll come to my graduation banquet. Had ha. You little brat, your brother is still interning in the Magic City, how would he have time to come back? He must be just saying that to make you happy. When school starts, you'll also go to the Magic City, so don't trouble your brother. Ye's mother still cares deeply for her son. He is all alone out there, with no one to depend on. As parents, there is nothing they can do to help, so they can only not cause their child any trouble. My brother will definitely come. My brother never lies to me. You girl, they say daughters are close to their fathers, but you've changed that, you're close to your brother. I'm heartbroken, old father that I am, Yi Feng's father teased, watching Yilin pout. Yi Feng on the other hand had also started to feel homesick. After his internship in his 4th year, he hadn't returned home for more than half a year, and he definitely wanted to go back for a few days for his younger sister's matriculation dinner. Thinking that Yilin is going to come to the Magic City to study, Yi Feng feels that it is time to buy a flat. After all, there are still 1.2 billion in the account, which is more than enough to buy a flat in the Magic City, not to mention the cashback from the system. Hee. I'll go look at flats tomorrow. At this moment, a gurgling sound came from his stomach, and Yi Feng's stomach started to protest. He had been buying this and that all day, so excited that he forgot to eat. He took out his phone and saw that there was a highly rated ancient-style restaurant nearby. After reading the reviews, which were basically all positive, he decided that this would be the place. He turned on the navigation system and set off for the Fengming Pavilion, an ancient-style restaurant. 10 minutes later, Yi Feng arrived at his destination, parked the car, and went to the entrance of Fengming Pavilion. The ancient Chinese-style door was carved with exquisite patterns, and 2 golden door knockers swayed on the door, making a pleasant sound. Walking into the restaurant, one could see simple tables and chairs, carved screens, and delicate lanterns. Landscape paintings and calligraphy works hung on the walls, making people feel as if they were in the flourishing Tang dynasty. Outside the door was the noisy city, inside the door was the prosperous Tang dynasty. The strong visual contrast shocked Yi Feng and left a deep impression on him. As expected, the restaurant lived up to its reputation. Since they arrived early, there were not many people yet, and Yi Feng was able to easily find a seat. Sir, what would you like to eat? A waiter came up to Yi Feng and said. This term sir made him flinch. Sir, not only is the Fengming Pavilion decorated in an ancient style, but we also address our customers in the ancient way. If you need to call a waiter, just yell Xiao Bai. Yi Feng had never encountered this before, and it felt very novel, but then he adjusted his state of mind. Chapter 5 Student Li Xiana. Xiao Bai, bring me some of your restaurant's specialties, and a pot of tea. Sir, please wait a moment, I'll arrange for the kitchen to start cooking. After ordering, Yifeng quietly watched a beautiful woman in ancient costume with a slender figure playing the guzheng in a corner. Her pale green plain gauze long skirt and white gauze mask showed the woman's tenderness and mystery. Pouring a cup of tea and listening to the beautiful sound of the guzheng was truly a treat. No wonder the ancients often yearned for the romantic things in life, such as flowers, moonlight, poetry, books, wine and tea. Gradually, the restaurant was full and a long queue formed at the door. Yifeng, over here, a voice called out, catching his attention. He looked in the direction of the voice and saw a sweet-looking girl in a white t-shirt and blue jeans waving at him. After a moment's thought, he still couldn't place her. Seeing Yifeng looking over, the girl pulled a slightly plump bespectacled girl over to Yifeng. Yifeng, I'm Li Shana, a sophomore at Moda University, and this is my roommate Shernan, hee. When we first enrolled, it was you, Yifeng, who gave the speech to the new students on behalf of the university. Your impassioned speech made many of us new students idolize you. Li Shana looked at Yifeng nervously. At the time, he was attracted by Yifeng's demeanor and eloquence, but after learning that he had a girlfriend, he hid his feelings deep down in his heart. When he recently learned that Yifeng had broken up, those passionate feelings could no longer be controlled, but after searching the school for a long time, he still couldn't find her. Oh, two schoolgirls, what can I do for you? Senior Yifeng, we're a little late, and it'll be a while before we can get a table. Look, can we share your table? After saying this, Li Shana looked at Yifeng with hopeful eyes, as if she would cry if he said no. Don't stand there, sit down. Today, I'll treat you to dinner, Yifeng laughed, and he saw the shadow of his younger sister Yilin in Li Shana, the same quirky and intelligent girl. Li Shana happily pulled Shernan down to sit, and said to the waiter, "Waiter, add 2 sets of tableware for us." Hey, why is no one paying attention to me? Yifeng explained with a smile, this is an ancient-style restaurant, so you have to learn to speak like the ancients. Li Shana looked at Yifeng thoughtfully and said, "Waiter, 2 sets of tableware." Okay, sir. Senior Yifeng, this restaurant is really interesting, I like it very much. The 3 of them happily ate the food, and Yifeng really liked this relaxed and comfortable feeling. Senior Yifeng, I know that there are some things I shouldn't ask, but I still want to know, have you and my senior broken up? At this time, Li Shana clenched her fists, staring at Yifeng tightly, with nervousness, anticipation, and fear. She was nervous that Yifeng would be angry, and she was looking forward to getting an answer, but she was also afraid that the opportunity would once again pass her by. Those who abandon me are the past that cannot be retained, and those who disturb my heart are the worries of the present that cause so much trouble. Those who should go cannot be kept, and those who should come cannot be avoided. Yifeng sighed, too. More than 3 years of feelings cannot be let go just by saying so. But he cannot accept betrayal. If there is no love, it can be said, but not betrayal. Love comes without knowing, and it is deep, hatred ends without knowing, and it is gone with a smile. Senior, this is what life should experience. Look on the bright side. Time is the best medicine, it can make you forget, and it can also make you meet. Looking at the figure in the depths of his heart, there was only pain at the moment. People have birth, aging, and 3,000 diseases, but only love cannot be cured, Yifeng muttered. 2 tails of 9-leafed weightlifters, 1 mace of winter cicada pupa, and a decoction of last year's snow can cure the world's suffering from love, Li Shana argued. There is only 1 flower with 7 leaves on the weightlifter, and there is no pupa in winter, so how can you take last year's snow and cure love? The weightlifter is the 9-layered building, and the cold cicada is found after digging 3 feet. The snow falls at midnight on New Year's Eve, and it has already been a year since it fell. After the time of parting, love can also be cured. But if it's not love that's in your bones, then what medicine can cure it? This medicine is not as bitter as love, so how can it cure the poison of love? You 2 great talent, why did you go from breaking up to missing someone? You're off topic. Tell me something I can understand, okay? You should also consider the feelings of the school dropouts. He. Shernan, who was standing nearby, saw that the topic was getting further and further away, so he quickly pulled back. This Li Shana is really annoying. She obviously likes Yishue, but she still insists on talking about love. This silly girl. Was I acting like a lovesick fool just now? It's all in the past. I'm not that fragile. Don't comfort me, little sister. Yifeng laughed heartily, sweeping away the gloom. He didn't expect to have talked so much with the little sister he had just met today. Senior, can I add you to WeChat? Not only did I take your place today, I also let you treat me to dinner. I'll treat you some other time. Hee hee. Li Xiaona laughed happily. She could have split the bill, but letting her senior treat her this time would mean she could ask him out on a date alone next time. Yifeng opened the WeChat QR code, and after Li Xiaona and he had added each other as friends, they went to the checkout. After getting their cash back, they looked at the clock and saw that it was getting late, so they said to the two girls, "Are you two going out shopping? Or are you going back to school?" After discussing it for a while, the two said, "Senior, let's go back to school, it's not early anymore." "Then I'll take you back," Yifeng said, and then he led the two of them away from Fengming Pavilion. When they arrived in front of Dage, Li Xiaona looked at Yifeng in surprise. "Senior, is this your car?" "Yes, I just picked it up today." "I heard." "That's right, I was dumped because I was poor." "Ah, maybe this is fate." In the car, the three were silent. Li Xiaona looked at Yifeng's profile through the reflection in the window. For a moment, she was in a daze, her thoughts returning to the first time they met. The big boy with the smile on his face was so full of youthful energy, like a spring breeze. Now he had lost his smile and gradually become determined. Maybe that was growing up. At the school gate, after the three said goodbye, Yifeng did not leave, but returned to the dormitory of the future. "Fourth brother, why did you come back? Why are you so worried? Come tell your brother Chao about it and cheer me up a bit," Wang Chao teased Yifeng, who had not returned to the dormitory for a long time. Chang Wen also sat up and looked at Yifeng. "No, fourth brother, did you win the lottery? This is a big brand. It's not cheap." Wang Chao also noticed the difference in Yifeng at this time. After scanning the room, his eyes fixed tightly on Yifeng's wrist. "Holy shit, it's a Patek Philippe. Fourth brother, you've hit the jackpot. Tell me, have you been noticed by some rich woman?" "Introduce me to," Wang Chao said teasingly. "Go away, what rich woman? I just walked and it fell from the sky. Ha ha. Godfather, you've gone bad. I just checked, your Patek Philippe costs 7 million. Tell us what's going on. If you don't tell us, Fengxian's long sword is going to drink blood." Chapter 6 Regret. Yifeng looked at the excited two people and didn't know how to explain. The secret of the system must not be revealed. After thinking for a while, he said, "After the breakup, I was packing things in the rental house and found a hard drive from a long time ago. There were 200 bitcoins in it, and I just sold them yesterday. Fourth brother, you've accomplished a small goal like this. It's really true that people compare themselves to others and die, and goods are compared and thrown away. If it doesn't work, you have to treat them," Wang Chao said excitedly. There was no jealousy in his eyes, just a little envy and happiness. Chang Wen patted Yifeng on the shoulder and gave him some earnest advice. "Second brother, I don't think you should go back to your hometown to take the civil service exam. You should stay at school and become a teacher. You talk a lot of big ideas every day, just like a pedantic teacher. If I had a small goal, I would definitely enjoy life and experience the life of the rich." Wang Chao didn't agree with Chang Wen's words. He felt that after achieving financial freedom, one should enjoy life, otherwise the hard work would be meaningless. "Okay, second and third sons, don't worry, I have my own plans. You guys wait here for a while, I'm going to go to the school supermarket and buy some things. Let's have a drink." Yifeng first used his phone to order some barbecue, then went downstairs to the supermarket, which was not far away, just a few minutes' walk. "Isn't this Yifeng? Long time no see. How have you been? Is your internship going well?" Zhao Li, the owner of the supermarket, greeted Yifeng with a smile. The two were from the same hometown in Tianjin, and since Tianjin people are relatively family-oriented and rarely wander away, they became particularly close and over time became friends. "Brother Li, long time no see. My internship ended early, so I went back to school today. Are you here alone? Your wife didn't come to help?" "Hey, the little one is sick, your wife is taking care of him at home. What do you want to eat? I'll give you a discount." "Okay, I'll go pick out some food." Soon Yifeng came back with a bunch of snacks. "Brother Li, get another case of beer, and count how much it is." 158, give me 150. "Boy, drink less, come visit me more often, and we'll have more opportunities to meet after you graduate." "Don't worry, Brother Li, after I graduate, I can come visit you too." "Hee hee, I'm leaving, my dorm mates are waiting for me, we'll chat later." With a barbecue, Yifeng returned to the dormitory, put the things on the table, and the three young men sat around the table, each holding a bottle of beer in their hands, and the moonlight outside the window fell on their youthful faces. As time passed, the slight drunkenness brought on by the alcohol made the three of them begin to tell their stories. Lao San, Lao Si, actually I didn't want to leave the Magic City, but my parents had a child late in life, and I was the only child in the family. My parents had to go out and work to support my education. I remember one time, my father cut his hand at the construction site. In order to save money, he had to a finger. When I saw it, he was still comforting me, telling me not to worry. At that moment, my heart felt like it was about to shatter into pieces. I hated that I grew up so slowly and that I had become a burden to my family. From then on, I studied as hard as I could, knowing that this was the only way to change my fortune. Sometimes you guys tease me, saying that I'm a rough guy from Shandong, but I'm just like an old rich man from Shaanxi, pinching my life away. I just know the importance of money. My father traded his fingers for it, and I can't waste a single penny. Now, I'm about to graduate, and I want to contribute to this family. I want to go home and take over my father's burden, let him rest for a while, and let him know that his son has grown up and can become his support, and can shelter him from the wind and rain. Seeing Chang Wen, who was in tears, Yifeng didn't know how to comfort him. There are always many things in the world that are not as one would like, but they cannot be shared with others. Raising his glass, he said to Chang Wen, "Come on, brother Chang, I toast you. You are worthy of being a man from Shandong, and you have responsibility. Bottoms up. Lao Si, you usually think I'm carefree and happy-go-lucky, don't you think I'm very free and easygoing? That's just a front. My parents divorced when I was young, and they got remarried. I've been living with my grandparents ever since. Ever since I was little, my classmates have always teased me about being an orphan with no parents. It's true, they've never been in my life for all these years, and all I've ever had is a cold alimony payment, and even that was only because my grandfather went to collect it in person. With parents like that, I'm no different from an orphan. Later on, whenever anyone teased me, I hit back hard, and little by little they were afraid to gossip about me. But I also had no friends. After that, after my grandparents died, I gradually became indifferent. Without expectations, there would be no disappointments. Without attachments, one can live as one pleases. But who knew that on that night of torrential rain, the desperate cry of a little boy could not bring back the departing figure in the distance? The three men raised their glasses and drank heavily, reveling in the moment and not worrying about tomorrow. Chang Wen and Wang Chao put down their glasses and stared straight at Yifeng, as if to say, "We've already said it, so why don't you?" Yifeng put down his glass and also fell into his memories. My father was an ordinary worker, my mother was a housewife, and I had a younger sister who was 4 years younger than me. My parents usually argued, but they were very affectionate. My sister was also very cute, and our family was still very happy. If I had to say what I regretted, there was probably one thing: my best friend was naughty as a child and always went to play on a suspension bridge not far from my house. It was a hot summer day, and he wanted to go swimming in the river. Since I couldn't swim, I just watched from the shore. Maybe the water was too cold, his legs cramped up, and he kept flailing around in the water, shouting my name loudly. I was on the shore, anxious but unable to do anything. I shouted everywhere, and it was a long time before someone found him and rescued him. Although his life was saved, the long period of drowning caused serious damage to his brain, and his intelligence will forever remain that of a 7-year-old. After that, I practiced swimming hard, and now my swimming level is already very good, but I can't go back in time to bring him out of his 7 years. The three of them drank cup after cup, talking to each other. At that moment, they forgot about time and their worries, and enjoyed the time of reunion to the fullest. Outside the window, the moonlight mixed with scattered raindrops, beating against the windows, as if to wash away the vanity of youth and transform growth, and also to witness the friendship of the three. Looking at Yifeng and Wang Chao, who were drunk, Chang Wen shook his head, helped them back to bed one by one, and muttered, "I'm really lucky to have met you all. I don't know if I'll be able to see you again after graduation." Chapter 7, Buying a Home. In the morning, a ray of sunlight shone through the curtains and fell on Yifeng's face. Feeling a headache coming on, he struggled to get up. He saw the scattered wine bottles and leftover food on the table, rubbed his head, and realized that he had drunk too much the night before. He looked around and found a glass, poured a glass of water, and gulped it down. The water flowed down his throat and into his stomach, and he felt slightly better. Looking at Chang Wen and Wang Chao, who were still asleep, he moved gently and walked to the window, opening it a little to let in some fresh air. Dragging his tired body, he returned to the table, put the scattered wine bottles back in the box, put the leftover food in the trash bag, found a rag to wipe the table, and when he saw that he had finished cleaning up, he left the dormitory with the trash. After throwing the trash away, he went straight to the cafeteria. When he walked into the cafeteria, he went straight to a window and said, "Auntie, give me a bowl of millet porridge." The cafeteria auntie served the porridge, and Yifeng took out his phone to prepare to pay. When he looked down, he saw that his phone was out of battery. He had forgotten to charge it because he had drunk too much yesterday. Just as he was feeling awkward, a voice of successful payment broke the awkwardness. "Yifeng, good morning. I didn't expect to see you again so soon." He. Yifeng looked up and saw a cute smiling face in front of him. It turned out to be his junior, Li Xiana. "Good morning, junior. My phone ran out of battery. Luckily I met you, otherwise I would have been so embarrassed." "Oh, so your phone ran out of battery. I wondered why you didn't reply to my messages yesterday. I thought you didn't want to talk to me, and it made me feel sad for a long time. Let's not stand here, let's go to that table, otherwise the kanji will get cold." The two of them went to the table. Yifeng took a sip of the millet porridge and felt a warm current spread through his body, restoring some of his energy. Looking at Li Xiana, who was resting her chin in her hands and staring at him intently, he said, "What's wrong? Is there something on my face?" Li Xiana blushed and stuttered. No, I just think you're such a handsome guy, it's a shame you're not a celebrity. Although I admit I'm a bit handsome, it's too exaggerated to be a star. By the way, why didn't you go to class today? You're a bad influence on the younger students," Yifeng teased her as he looked at her red face. "Senior, you're too modest. You don't know that many younger students see you as their dream lover. We don't have any classes in the morning today, and we only have one Taoism class in the afternoon. I'm a good student, so why would I skip class? Senior, you can call me Xiana." "Senior, it's too formal for a junior to call you that." "Hey, can I call you brother phone?" Seeing Li Xiana looking at him with anticipation, Yifeng nodded and agreed. "Brother phone, hey, brother phone," Li Xiana called happily. "Brother phone, there's a new movie releasing tonight, can you accompany me to watch it, please?" Yifeng thought about it for a moment, and since he didn't have anything to do that night, he nodded and agreed. "Yes. Hey, if my roommates knew that the school flower of our Shanghai University was going to the movies with me, they would be so jealous." Li Xiana giggled like a flower girl. Yifeng looked at the excited Li Xiana with amusement and proposed to take his leave. "Xiana, I have some things to take care of later, so I won't chat with you for now. I'll pick you up tonight." "Yes, Finga, don't forget." After the two parted, Yifeng went to the car, found the power bank, and charged his phone. In the modern world, it's really difficult to go anywhere without your phone. After restarting the phone, Yifeng found the phone number of the real estate agent who rented the apartment before and called it. Lu Wei had helped a lot with the previous rental. "Little Viagra, this is Yifeng. Do you have any listings for Thompson Riviera for sale?" "Yifeng, you've struck it rich. You want to buy a house?" "There are indeed 2 large flats in Thompson Riviera, but the price is a bit expensive. After all, the reputation is there." "Then, Xiao Weiwei, let's meet in front of Thompson Riviera in half an hour." "Yifeng, you're serious? That flat is basically over 100 million yuan, are you kidding?" "Don't worry, Xiao Weiwei, I'll give you a big order today." After hanging up the phone, Yifeng started the car and went straight there. When he arrived at the entrance of Thompson Riviera, Yifeng was very excited as he watched the sun shining through the clouds and illuminating every inch of the community. He would soon become a member of this community. At this moment, Lu Wei also arrived and saw Yifeng next to the Mercedes-Benz G-Class. He hurried over. "Yifeng, you've hidden yourself well. You're driving a Mercedes-Benz G-Class, so it seems that you were renting a room before to experience life. You really know how to have fun. Let's go, I'll show you the house." Walking into the community, the lush trees and the meticulously manicured lawns complemented each other, and everything seemed so harmonious. In the center of the community was a spacious square, and at the center of the square was a fountain. The water column pulsed to the beat of the music, emitting a pleasant sound. The facilities in the community are also very complete. There are gyms, swimming pools, children's playgrounds, and other entertainment facilities to meet the needs of residents of different ages. In addition, the community also has a 24-hour security system to ensure the safety of residents. Under the guidance of Lu Wei, the two arrived at the door of their destination. Opening the door, they saw a salesperson introducing to a middle-aged couple. When they saw Yifeng and Lu Wei open the door and come in, they were also taken aback. The middle-aged man was dressed ostentatiously, from head to toe in designer brands, with an exaggeratedly large gold chain around his neck, all of which showed his nouveau riche appearance. The same could be said of the middle-aged woman, with her luxurious but expensive and incongruous clothes, her hands covered with rings, and her face covered with thick makeup, but still unable to hide the signs of the passage of time. Upon seeing their arrival, the middle-aged woman said in a strange voice, "You've done an interesting thing, thinking that we can't afford it? And also arranging for someone to come to the house to look at it? Sorry, I don't think I have any doubts about your strength." "I'll ask what's going on," salesperson Chen Hai said ingratiatingly. "Lu Wei, what do you mean? Are you deliberately trying to spoil my business?" "Chen Hai, you can bring customers, but I can't?" "Ha, Lu Wei, you're so full of it, bringing a young kid to look at a house? What a joke. And all dressed up in designer clothes, all fake." Looking at the aggressive Chen Hai, Yifeng said coldly, "How do you know I can't afford it? I asked Xiao Weigui to bring me here today because I want to buy a house." "Kid, you're not young but you have a big mouth. Do you know how much this Thompson Riviera house costs? Go back and work hard for a few decades to save up for a down payment," the middle-aged man said, looking at Yifeng and mocking him. "Mr. Huang, you are absolutely right. Nowadays young people are so ambitious at a young age. I think he just came here to take a few pictures to show off back home. Unlike you, you look like you have a lot of money and are completely capable of buying this house." Chen Hai began to flatter the middle-aged man like a lackey. Chapter 8 Slapping the face of a nouveau riche. Seeing Chen Hai's flattery and belittling, Lu Wei was so angry that his face turned red. He pointed at Chen Hai and scolded, "You ass-kisser, lackey, if you say anything about my friends again, I'll break your legs." Yifeng saw that Lu Wei was already on the verge of losing his temper, so he quickly pulled him back. "Little Wei Wei, don't get angry with this nouveau riche and lackey, it's more enjoyable to slap them hard in the face." Hearing Yifeng's words, the middle-aged woman immediately jumped up. Since becoming rich, she has often been ridiculed behind her back due to her lack of knowledge in aesthetics, causing her to hate it when people call her a nouveau riche. "You little brat, who are you calling a nouveau riche? I'll rip your mouth off if you don't believe me. Little Viagra, see, this reveals your true nature, not just a nouveau riche, but also a shrew." Looking at Yifeng and Yi Zi, who were laughing heartily, the middle-aged man Huang Yue said coldly, "Kid, you're pretty cocky. If you're so capable, you buy this house. Do you have the strength? Are you so sure I can't buy it? If I do, I want you to bow and apologize to me and my friends." "Fine, if you can't buy it, then you can't afford the consequences." Lu Wei called the company to explain the situation. In a short while, the company manager came to the room with the finance department and the house purchase contract. "This is Mr. Yi, isn't he really young and capable? I am the company manager Sun Ming. It is a great honor to meet you. I have brought the contract with me. If you see no problem, we can sign the contract," Manager Sun Ming said enthusiastically. As a senior real estate manager, Sun Ming's greatest advantage is his ability to judge people. He did not look down on Yifeng because of his age, but instead saw his extraordinary character from his appearance, accessories, and demeanor. Yifeng took the contract and looked at it. There were no problems, so he signed his name. Then he said to Sun Ming, "Manager Sun, do you want to transfer the money or use your credit card?" Huang Yue and his wife laughed and mocked, "Use your credit card? You're killing me. This apartment is worth at least 120 million yuan, and I really don't know what kind of card you have that has such a high limit." "Boy, you're overdoing it, huh?" Yifeng gave them a cold look and took out the supreme black card from his pocket. "You really are a nouveau riche. A frog in a well, and you dare to speak of the vastness of the sky. Manager Sun, swipe your card and show them what you're made of." When Sun Ming saw this card, his body shook violently, as if he had received an electric shock. He had been fortunate enough to see this black card once on the body of a super-rich person. This was by no means a simple card, it represented status and identity. Sun Ming trembled as he took the card, told the finance department to enter the amount, and the card was successfully swiped. "Congratulations, host, you have spent 120 million yuan and received 12 billion yuan in cashback, which has been credited to the supreme black card with the last digits 8888. Sun Ming handed the card back to Yifeng with trembling hands. "Mr. Yi, if you are not available for all the formalities afterwards, we can take care of it all for you." If you have any needs, you can contact me directly. I would be happy to help. Here is my business card. Please accept it. Huang Yue and his wife, who were standing nearby, were full of disbelief and said angrily, "This is impossible. I've never seen any card that can be swiped for such a large amount. You must be conspiring to cheat me." Before Yi Feng could say anything, Sun Ning stepped forward. "How dare you speak to Mr. Yi like that? Mr. Yi was right when he said you were a frog at the bottom of a well. Do you know about this card? This is the Supreme Black Card of Global Bank. There are absolutely no more than 10 of these in the whole of China. Do you know how difficult it is to apply for this card? This card only accepts invitations from members and does not accept unsolicited applications. Moreover, the invitee must have a minimum cash flow of 10 billion Huaxia currency. Listen carefully, it is cash flow. This card can not only transfer huge amounts of money, it is also a symbol of status and status. With Mr. Ye's abilities, running you over is like running over an ant, and yet you dare to be so insolent." Mr. and Mrs. Huang Yue collapsed to the ground, not sure if they were shocked by Sun Ming's aura or terrified by Yi Feng's identity as the owner of the black card. The two of them fell to their knees and begged Yi Feng for mercy. "Get out, don't dirty my place." Seeing that the two of them had just given up, Yi Feng had no interest in punishing them. "Manager Sun, do you have any villas for sale?" "Mr. Yi, you can just call me Sunday. With your status, a normal villa doesn't match your status. Now there is a more suitable option. The Shen family in the Demon Capital has recently had some problems with their capital chain and is interested in selling Cloud Villa number 6. If you are interested, I will go contact them for you." Cloud Villa, designed by an international top master, is not only a simple residence, but also a symbol of status. It is located in the prime location of the new district of the Demon Capital, enjoying a unique geographical location and beautiful scenery. Yi Feng nodded with satisfaction, "Then let me know when you're done. If there's nothing else, we won't disturb Mr. Yi, we'll take our leave." After Sun Ming and the others left, Yi Feng admired his new home. Exquisite crystal chandeliers hung from the high ceilings, emitting a soft light that illuminated the entire space. A full wall of floor-to-ceiling windows provided an unparalleled view, and paintings by famous artists hung on the walls, each stroke displaying the charm of art. In the center of the living room is a set of custom-made leather sofas that are soft and comfortable. Next to the sofa is an exquisite tea table with a set of high-end tea sets, where you can enjoy the beautiful view of the city while sipping tea. Walking from the living room, there is a spacious dining room. The dining room is furnished with a large dining table, which can accommodate up to 10 people. A magnificent chandelier hangs above the dining table, adding a touch of romance to the meal. The walls of the dining room are decorated with exquisite murals, adding a sense of art to the dining environment. Next to the dining room is a modern kitchen, equipped with top-of-the-line kitchenware and appliances to facilitate cooking. The kitchen is designed to be both practical and beautiful, so that people can enjoy cooking while having fun. Looking at his new home with satisfaction, Yi Feng looked forward to the arrival of his younger sister Yi Lin. She would definitely like it very much. After some calculations, Yi Feng should also go back to attend Yi Lin's college entrance banquet, and he could also spend some time with his parents. Looking at the time, it was about time for Li Xiaona to finish class. Yi Feng drove away from Thompson Riviera and went to Modu University. When he arrived at the school gate, he saw that Li Xiaona had not yet arrived. Yi Feng went to the milk tea shop next door and bought 2 cups of milk tea, which he thought girls generally liked. As he walked back, he saw Li Xiaona standing next to the car, looking around. Yi Feng took a few steps and came to the car. "Brother Feng, come on, did you run out to look at a pretty girl?" Li Xiaona said playfully with her big eyes sparkling. Chapter 9 Going to the movies. Seeing Li Xiaona's cute appearance, Yi Feng couldn't help but rub her head with his hand. Feeling that his actions had crossed a line, Yi Feng immediately apologized. "I'm sorry, Xiaona, I didn't mean it. I saw that you hadn't arrived yet, so I went and bought 2 cups of milk tea. I don't know if you like it." "Thank you, Fenga, how did you know I like milk tea?" "Ha, I wasn't angry just now, I was just surprised by the famous school hunk from our university, who gave me a patting on the head. I don't know how many people will be jealous at this moment." Li Xiaona secretly regretted in her heart. Why did her face turn red, making Fenga so embarrassed? If only she could take a picture, then she could preserve this moment forever. "Fenga, I've already bought the tickets, they're at Wanda Cinema, let's go." Yi Feng opened the car door and the two got in. They sped along the road and soon arrived at their destination. Yi Feng took advantage of the time while Li Xiana was getting the tickets to go to the snack area. The salesperson's eyes lit up when she saw Yi Feng approaching, and she immediately said enthusiastically, "This handsome young man, what would you like to buy?" "Give me a bucket of popcorn, a large bucket." The salesperson filled the popcorn bucket to the top and handed it to Yi Feng, looking at him with a smile and saying, "Are you alone, young man? I finish work at 9 o'clock. If you don't mind, we can have a drink." Yi Feng shivered. "Big sister, don't you look in the mirror before you go out?" He took the popcorn and fled. Li Xiana saw Yi Feng running over with a bucket of popcorn and asked doubtfully, "Brother Feng, why are you running? You're also sweating so much. Here's some paper, wipe yourself off." Yi Feng took the paper, wiped the sweat, and he couldn't say that he was running away from being harassed by an older sister. That would be too embarrassing, so he had to make a white lie. "Xiana, I was afraid of delaying the start of the movie, so I came back quickly." Seeing that Li Xiana didn't suspect him, he quickly wiped the sweat again. When you are away from home, a boy has to learn to protect himself. The two of them queued up to check their tickets, walked into the dim cinema, found their seats in the weak light, and heard the low voices of other audience members around them. As the lights in the projection room gradually dimmed, the images on the screen began to flicker, and the two of them immersed themselves in the movie. The story is about student love. They worked hard and struggled together, determined to get into the same university. When they were about to enter the marriage hall, the woman died unexpectedly. The man insisted on completing the wedding, and finally grew depressed and lonely until the end of his life. After watching the movie, Li Xiana was in tears. He grabbed Yi Feng's arm and kept wiping his tears, while Yi Feng kept comforting him. "Xiana, let's go eat. My stomach is starting to protest, and you need to eat something too, otherwise where will you get the strength to keep crying?" Li Xiana broke into laughter. "Who talks like that? I didn't realize that Brother Feng is still a straight man." The two didn't go too far, and they found a barbecue restaurant in Wanda to eat. The charcoal fire burned slowly in the stove, making a crackling sound. As the meat slices kept tumbling in the oven, the aroma soon filled the air. Li Xiana picked up a slice of beef, put it on lettuce, brushed it evenly with the dipping sauce, added a few slices of garlic, rolled it skillfully, and handed it to Yi Feng. "Brother Feng, thank you for watching the movie with me today. As a token of my appreciation, I made you a hand-rolled kebab. Try it, it's not something ordinary people can eat." Yi Feng took the rolled kebab, tasted it, and looked at Li Xiana, who was smiling and her eyes were narrowed, and nodded seriously in praise. "Xiana, it's delicious, tender and juicy beef, refreshing vegetables, and topped with garlic chips, it's a real treat. Most girls don't like to put garlic chips, so why do you like them?" Seeing Yi Feng finish eating, Li Xiana said happily, "I also saw it online. Isn't there a saying that goes, if you eat meat without garlic, the fragrance is half gone? I tried it later, and it's really true, except that after eating, the taste in your mouth is quite strong." He. The two slowly savored the food, during which Li Xiana also told many interesting stories from her life, and Yi Feng listened quietly, occasionally adding a few words. "Xiana, you eat first, I'm going to the bathroom for a bit, I'll be right back," Yi Feng said. Just as he got up and was about to go, he was stopped by Li Xiana. "Brother Feng, wait a minute." Li Xiana rummaged in her bag and took out a pack of tissue paper, which she handed to Yi Feng. Looking at the tissue paper handed over, Yi Feng was dumbfounded. "What does this mean? I'm just going to the bathroom, why do I need tissue paper?" After standing there for 3 seconds, the two of them reacted. Yi Feng looked at Li Xiana, who was blushing like a red apple, with a strange expression on his face, took the tissue paper, and said thank you. "Brother Feng, don't get me wrong. I just thought that after you wash your hands, you might want to dry them, and I didn't mean anything else. Don't think too much about it." At this point, Li Xiana wished she could find a crack in the ground and disappear into it. It was so embarrassing. How could she have done such a thoughtless thing? If her roommates knew, they would laugh at her to death. What a shame. As she tried to explain away the situation, Yi Feng smiled and turned to go to the bathroom. This little girl was really cute as hell. Yi Feng went to the bathroom, straightened his clothes, and then went to the cashier to pay. He successfully got his cash back and was walking back when he noticed a woman with a delicate face and fashionable clothes standing next to Li Xiana. The two seemed to be arguing. Yi Feng hurried over and asked Li Xiana, who looked angry, "Xiana, what happened?" Li Xiana explained the whole thing with a grievance. It turned out that the woman was Li Xiana's high school classmate Mutong. In high school, Mutong liked a boy named Zhang Wuyan, but Zhang Wuyan confessed his love to Li Xiana, who did not accept him. Mutong found Zhang Wuyan to reveal her feelings, but was rejected. Mutong felt insulted and has been targeting and slandering Li Xiana ever since. Today, she saw Li Xiana's friend's circle location and came here to find fault. After listening to Li Xiana's explanation, Yifeng looked at Mutong strangely. This girl is quite pretty, but her thinking is really strange. Hey, Li Xiana, this is your boyfriend, right? I don't think he's very good looking, he's nowhere near as good looking as Brother Woyan. Brother Woyan is not only good looking, he's also the heir to the Zhang group. Your taste is just as bad as ever. Seeing Yifeng's arrival, Mutong spoke sarcastically, but in her heart she was jealous. Why did every handsome guy like this little bitch Li Xiana? Where was she inferior to her? Hearing Mutong's mean words, Yifeng's face also sank. He really wanted to slap this woman, but the education he had received did not allow him to do things like hit a woman. Chapter 10 Li Xiana's confession. Li Xiana was furious when she heard Mutong mock Yifeng. She rushed up and retorted, "You can say it, but you're not allowed to say anything about my brother Feng. In my heart, Brother Feng is the best, and no one can compare to him." Ha ha. You're really good at pretending, Li Xiana. You pretend to be cute and pitiful every day. Aren't you tired of it? The Empress Huawei was right when she said that bitches are pretentious. You'd better apologize to Xiana. Or you'll regret it, Yifeng said coldly. Apologize? You're joking. If you can be with that bitch Li Xiana, you're no better. You two are a perfect match. Ha ha. Mutong saw Yifeng defend Li Xiana, and her jealousy grew stronger. With a pop, a slap landed on Mutong's face. Mutong covered her face, looking incredulous. This bitch Li Xiana actually dared to hit her. After reacting, she charged at Li Xiana like crazy. You little bitch, you actually dared to hit me, I'll fight you. Yifeng was stunned by what had just happened. He had never imagined that Li Xiana had such a fierce side. Seeing Mutong rushing towards Li Xiana, Yifeng hurriedly stood in front of her to stop the mad Mutong. At this time, the security guards from the shopping mall also arrived and pulled the people apart. Looking at the onlookers, Li Xiana apologetically looked at Yifeng, and Yifeng returned a reassuring look. Mutong saw the security guard arrive and knew that she would not be able to get her revenge for the slap today. She let out a harsh threat and fled in disgrace. Yifeng compensated for the damaged items and then left with Li Xiana. Li Xiana kept her head down and followed Yifeng all the way to the car. She felt that she had left a bad impression on Yifeng today and was worried that he would no longer talk to her in the future. Yifeng couldn't help but smile at Li Xiana, who had buried her head under the seat of the car. You were so heroic just now, but now you've become a quail. Brother Feng, I shouldn't have hit her, but I really couldn't hold back. It doesn't matter what she says about me, but when it comes to you, I just can't. Brother Feng, in my heart, you are the best. Maybe you won't talk to me in the future. I still want to tell you that I like you, from the first time I met you. At that time, I wanted to confess to you, but then I learned that you had a girlfriend, so I backed off and could only silently watch you from afar, keeping this feeling in my heart. When I learned that you broke up, I couldn't help but want to get close to you, looking for every opportunity to contact you, hoping that you would notice my existence. I'm really sorry today. I've caused you trouble. After saying this, Li Xiana got up and got out of the car. Yifeng pulled Li Xiana back. He had long since seen through the thoughts of this cute little schoolgirl. He is not stupid, so how could he not know her little thoughts? Yifeng did not refuse to spend time with Li Xiana and accompany her to the movies, which shows that he also likes her. However, after experiencing a betrayal once, he does not dare to easily start a relationship again. But now that Li Xiana is so proactive, if he pretends not to know, he will really lose this person. You're leaving without even listening to my answer? Li Xiana, who had returned to her seat, stared at Yifeng nervously, wanting to say something but afraid to open her mouth, for fear of getting a negative answer. I can see that you like me, but I'll do the confessing. Xiana, will you be my girlfriend? Yifeng looked at Li Xiana and said seriously. Excitement flushed her face, and she jumped from the passenger seat to Yifeng's front seat and kissed him hard. She had been waiting and looking forward to this kiss for 2 years, and it felt like time had stopped. She felt a sweetness she had never felt before. After a long time, their lips parted, their eyes met, and they smiled at each other. Brother Feng, please take me back to school. Li Xiana looked sweetly at Yifeng. From now on, this handsome guy would be her boyfriend. Haha, just thinking about it made her happy. Soon after, the two returned to the University of Shanghai for science and technology. Holding hands, they walked along the paths of the campus. The moonlight shone on the quiet trees around them, as if they were dressed in silver. Lixiana kept spinning around Yifeng, her cheerful footsteps like a dance, telling of her joy. Lixiana took Yifeng through every corner of the campus, as if making up for the regrets of the past 2 years. Xiana, Yifeng, Yutu, Shernan, who was passing by, saw the two of them holding hands and walking together. She was shocked and her mouth hung open in shock. She knew that Lixiana liked Yifeng, but it had only been a few days, so had it worked out so quickly? No wonder they say that it's harder for a man to woo a woman than for a woman to woo a man. Shernan covered her eyes with her hands and teased, "I didn't see anything." "Xiana, I really didn't see you and Yifeng walking holding hands." Nan, you're annoying, actually making fun of me, watch my scratching dragon claw hands." Lixiana let go of Yifeng's hand and rushed up to play with Shernan. Seeing that Li Ji's supermarket was not far away, Yifeng said to the two of them, "Xiana, Shernan, let's go to the supermarket and buy something." Hearing Yifeng's words, the two stopped fighting and came to Yifeng's side, heading to the supermarket together. "Brother Li, you're busy. How's my nephew? Is he feeling better?" Zhao Li's eyes lit up when he saw that Yifeng had brought two beautiful women with him. He said happily, "Your nephew is much better. Why did you bring two beautiful women today? Is that your girlfriend?" Yifeng pointed at Lixiana and said, "This is my girlfriend, Lixiana, and this is her roommate Shernan. Brother Li, I brought your friends here today, so you have to give me a discount." "You brat, I've never given you a discount when you've come here before. Hurry up and take your girlfriend to choose something to eat." Yifeng took the two women to choose snacks, taking a few of each, and before long a shopping cart was full. The three of them pushed the shopping cart to the front desk to check out. Zhao Li looked at the full cart and teased, "Yifeng, you really didn't buy a little, you're quite good to your girlfriend." "Brother Li, it's not that I don't know what Xiana likes to eat, I just picked a few more things. Besides, there are 4 of them in the dorm, so it wouldn't be appropriate if I didn't buy a lot." After the checkout, Yifeng carried several large bags of snacks and sent Lixiana back to the dorm. At the entrance of the dorm, Shernan, who was very perceptive, took the bags and went upstairs first, leaving the two alone. Lixiana looked at Yifeng affectionately, hugged him and whispered, "Brother Feng, thank you, I had a really good time today, and your embrace is very warm." After saying that, she ran back to the dormitory. Yifeng also smiled as he watched Lixiana's back. It was really nice to be in a sweet relationship. Previously, he and Meng Yu could not be called in a relationship at all. There was only unilateral devotion from his side, and he was just a big dog with a boyfriend. Chapter 11, Getting the Cloud Villa. Lixiana ran back to the dormitory, opened the door, and saw the 3 girls staring at her with smiles on their faces. Among them, Sun Jingjing and Li Bingbing even acted out the scene they had just witnessed downstairs. Lixiana blushed with shame and ran to the bed, covering her face with the quilt. The 3 girls were unwilling to let her off so easily and pulled her up together. "Xiana, tell us quickly, how did you trick our school hunk, Yifeng, into falling for you?" Yes, tell us, that's my dream lover, and you actually tricked him into falling for you." "No, I'm so cute, why can't Feng like me? You're just jealous of my talent and beauty, hee." The 3 women looked at the smug Lixiana and pounced on her, tickling her. "Mercy, 3 heroines, I'll talk. Can't I just talk?" She then recounted what had happened today. "It seems that your classmate Mutong not only failed to hurt you today, but actually did you a big favor." "Heh, it's like trying to steal a chicken and losing the rice instead," Li Bingbing said with emotion. "Yes, Xiana, you really are a fool with a fool's luck. If Mutong knew, he would be so angry he would die, huh?" Sun Jingjing also laughed. "Our Xiana has finally seen the light at the end of the tunnel. You two don't know, but she has liked Yifeng since she first started school. At that time, she even asked me to find out about him. Now her wish has finally come true." Shernan shared a little secret with the two of them. "Humph, all those delicious snacks can't shut you two up, so I'm not giving them to you." With that, Lixiana tried to grab the snacks, and then a new round of fighting broke out. In Tianjin, Yilin watched her parents, Yifeng and Yimu, sitting on the sofa watching TV. She couldn't help but cringe. The old couple quarreled every day just to watch TV. After they finished arguing, they acted like nothing had happened and showed off their affection in front of her, which was really infuriating. Yilin picked up her phone and sent a message to Yifeng. Brother, when are you coming back? I haven't seen you for a long time. Your poor sister can't stand watching your parents show their affection every day. It's too cruel to me, a single dog. On the other side, Yifeng had just returned to Thompson Riviera. He was lying on his soft bed, giggling. When his phone rang, he thought it was a message from Lixiana, but when he opened it, it was a message from Yilin. Little girl, I'll be back in a couple of days. Don't worry, I won't miss your graduation banquet. Mom and Dad, just pretend you don't see it. I also went through this when I was your age. Hee hee, as long as the old couple is happy. At this time, a phone call came in. Yifeng looked at the number and it was Sun Ming's phone, so he pressed the answer button. Mr. Yi, I'm really sorry to bother you so late. I've already made contact about the Shin family's Cloud Villa as we discussed last time. The head of the Shin family would like to invite you to the Cloud Villa tomorrow morning to discuss the details. I'm not sure if that's convenient for you. Yifeng thought about it for a while, and since he didn't have anything planned for tomorrow, he agreed. They agreed on a time and Yifeng hung up the phone. He hoped that the Cloud Villa would be taller tomorrow, because the reward would be very substantial. Yifeng washed up and went back to bed. He chatted with Yilin and Lixiana for a while before falling asleep. The sunlight shone through the French windows and hit Yifeng's face. Feeling the warmth, Yifeng gradually woke up. He was so lucky to be alive another day. He opened the curtains and looked at the busy people outside. He felt a surge of emotion in his heart as he watched them rushing around for a living. He had once been one of them. Since the arrival of the system, his life had undergone earth-shattering changes. He had unimaginable wealth and a sweet romance. So money is a good thing, it can solve 99% of the world's troubles. Yifeng washed up and changed his clothes. He came to the mirror and looked at the spirited young man in the mirror. He said narcissistically, "You're so handsome." After glancing at the time, Yifeng went downstairs to get ready to go. He had an appointment with the head of the Shin family today, and it would not be good to be late. He got into the car, turned on the navigation system, and set the destination as Cloud Villa. Since they avoided the morning rush hour, the traffic was relatively smooth along the way, and they quickly arrived at their destination. Sun Ming, who was standing at the door, saw Yifeng arrive and quickly ran over to help him open the car door. He said enthusiastically, "Mr. Yi, you're here. Please wait a moment, I'll contact them." Sun Ming went to the security room outside the gate to explain the purpose of his visit. After the security guard verified the situation with the Shin family head, he was allowed to go. Yifeng followed Sun Ming's instructions all the way to the gate of Cloud Villa 6, parked the car, and Sun Ming rang the doorbell. Soon the gate was opened, and a little girl about 10 years old poked her head out, wide-eyed and curious as she looked at the two of them. "Big brother, you're so pretty, and Meow Meow really likes you. Can you play with me?" A figure also appeared at the door, with a tall figure and handsome face. A pair of deep and wise eyes looked at the little girl with love, but the tiredness on his face could not be concealed. "Meow Meow, this is Daddy's friend. You go play for a while, Daddy needs to talk about some work. Daddy will play with you in a little while, okay?" Shen Ruomiao looked at Yifeng with a grievance, nodded slowly, and reluctantly left. Shen Haorun looked at the young Yifeng and was very surprised. This villa can be as high as 1 billion Chinese yuan. It seems that Yifeng's identity is not simple. Then, he adjusted his state and said, "This is Mr. Yi, right? I'm Shen Haorun. I didn't expect Mr. Yi to be so young. You are really young and accomplished. My daughter is naughty. Please don't mind. Mr. Shen, you're very kind. Your daughter is very cute, and I like her very much." Yifeng was also surprised to see Shen Haorun in his early 30s. He had originally thought that as the head of a family, he would definitely be over 50 years old. It seems like there are a lot of stories. Shen Haorun invited the two into the study, served them 2 cups of tea, and then got down to business. "Mr. Yi, I heard from Sun Ming that you are interested in buying this villa. I wonder if you have looked into it. This Cloud Villa is the most luxurious in the entire Demon City. When the family purchased it, it cost 800 million Huaxia coins. With the appreciation of the land, the price is now over 1 billion Huaxia coins. If Mr. Yi is willing to buy, I am willing to sell it for 800 million Huaxia coins." Yifeng could not let him sell it at a low price. This is a huge cashback, so he quickly said, "Master Shen, I, Yifeng, am not someone who takes advantage of others' misfortunes. Let's do it for 1 billion Huaxia coins." Yifeng then asked Shen Haoran for the account number and transferred 1 billion huaxia currency. Congratulations to the host, spending 1 billion huaxia currency and getting 100 billion huaxia currency in return, which has been credited to the Supreme Black Card with the last digit 8888. Yifeng looked at the long series of numbers in his global bank account number and was very excited inside. There may be many people in the whole of Huaxia who are worth hundreds of billions of dollars, but there are not many who have a cash flow of hundreds of billions of dollars. Chapter 12 Entering the Shen family. Shen Haoran, who was standing nearby, was also very shocked when he saw the account information, because he saw that it was transferred from a personal account at Global Bank. The fact that there was such a large personal transfer limit could only mean that Yifeng was the owner of the Global Bank Supreme Black Card. This mysterious Mr. Yi must have a deep background. Yifeng also handed over the transfer matters to Sun Ming. He was very satisfied with Sun Ming. He was capable and just a bit too pleasing. Master Shen, I heard from Sun Ming that the Shen family's capital chain is having problems. I wonder if you could tell me more, maybe I can help. Yifeng now had a large sum of money in his hands, and he also wanted to own some property. Besides, such a good opportunity to take advantage of the system could not be missed. Shen Haoran's eyes lit up. He knew that Yifeng had a terrifying cash flow and was also interested in using his strength to save the Shen family. Mr. Yi, I'm a few years older than you, so I'll call you Yi Laodi. This is a long story. A few years ago, the Shen family was developing very smoothly, reaching a volume of 50 billion huaxia currency. All the credit for this goes to my younger sister, Shen Haoyue. She has a unique perspective and a highly developed talent for business. In just 2 years, she doubled the company's market value. The Feng family, one of the 4 families in the Demon City, saw my sister's talent. They planned to have their uneducated youngest son, Feng Jiping, marry my sister. My father strongly opposed this at the time, and during one of Feng Jiping's advances on my sister, he was kicked in the groin, and has been unable to perform since. My family has suffered a furious retaliation from the Feng family, with various industries being suppressed. My father also died of a heart attack as a result. It can be said that my family and the Feng family have a deep hatred for each other. Brother Yi, if you help the Shen family, the Feng family will definitely hate you, so you have to think carefully. Yifeng saw Shen Haoran's frankness and had no more worries. He was also very curious about the talented girl Shen Haoyue. He was not afraid of being hated by the Feng family. He was a person of the system, and if he was afraid of this and afraid of that, how could he be worthy of the system? Brother Shen, I have decided to invest in the Shen family. How much capital do you think is needed? Shen Haoran's spirit was shaken. After he finished speaking, he didn't hold any hope that Yifeng would invest. It would be very unwise for the Shen family to confront the Feng family, which was a giant. Yi brother, thank you so much. The current market value of the Shen family is about 35 billion huaxia currency. If you invest 10 billion huaxia currency, I am willing to give you 35% of the shares. Brother Shen, let the legal department draft the contract. My investment can be credited at any time. Shen Haoran hurriedly contacted the legal department to draft an equity transfer contract and sent it to the Cloud Villa. Yifeng looked it over, saw that there were no problems, signed his name, and then transferred 10 billion huaxia currency. Yi, thank you so much. Don't worry, I will not let you down. At this time, Yifeng was very puzzled. 10 billion huaxia currency had been spent, but the system had not responded yet. System, why haven't I received a cashback? Host, the system is a cashback for spending, and investment and shareholding do not fall within the scope of spending, so you will not get cashback. Why didn't you say so earlier? Host, you didn't ask either. You ungrateful brat. Tell me, how can I invest and acquire in order to be considered spending? Host, after the cumulative cashback reaches 10 trillion, the system will be upgraded and all your spending will be counted towards cashback. At the same time, cashback will be issued in the form of points. Each accumulated consumption of 100 million huaxia coins will be rewarded with 1 point. At the same time, the points mall will be opened. Please continue to work hard, host. After ending the dialogue with the system, the 3 of them left the study. When they saw Yifeng appear, Shen Ruomia rushed over and hugged him. Big brother, you're done talking with dad about work, right? Can you play with me now? Shen Haoran looked at his daughter and said, Meow meow, dad has sold this house to Uncle Yifeng. We need to pack up and go to another home. Big brother, can I still come here to play in the future? Looking at Shinruo Miao, who was full of expectations, Yifeng crouched down and stroked her head and said, Miao Miao can come at any time, and you are always welcome, brother. Shindigo, there is no rush, you can take your time packing, I won't be coming here to live for a while. Big brother, you're so nice. Shinruo Miao gave Yifeng a kiss on the cheek. After playing with little Ruomio for a while, Yifeng took his leave. Yifeng got back in the car, turned on his phone, and looked at the airfare from Shanghai to Tianjin. After some consideration, he chose a first-class ticket for 10 o'clock the next morning. Thinking about his parents and younger sister, whom he had not seen for a long time, and that he would be able to see them soon, Yifeng felt a surge of emotion. First, he would go pick out a few gifts. He drove to Wanda Plaza and went to Patek Philippe. The salesperson, Mo Qingqing, warmly welcomed Yifeng when she saw him arrive. She was impressed because Yifeng had made such a big purchase last time, a 7 million yuan Patek Philippe Phantom, and he was so handsome. Hello, Mr. Yi, I'm the salesperson Mo Qingqing. Welcome back. Yifeng looked at her and felt a sense of familiarity. He should have been served by this Mo Qingqing the last time he came. He walked up to her and said, recommend 2 watches for me, one for a middle-aged man and one for a young girl. Mo Qingqing thought for a moment and then led Yifeng to the showcase. Mr. Yi, this Patek Philippe timepiece very much meets your requirements. The design of this men's watch is stable and dignified, yet very understated. It is made of the highest quality materials, and not only is it highly accurate, it is also shock resistant and water resistant. The price is 3.5 million Huaxia currency. I'll take this one. Recommend me a women's watch. Mr. Yi, if you'll come over here, this is the Beating of Youth, designed specifically for young girls. The pink appearance makes it even more youthful and vibrant, and with the reputation of Patek Philippe, it is the best guarantee of quality. The price of this watch is 2.8 million Huaxia currency. Yifeng carefully observed this throbbing youth. It really matched Jilin very well, and it also went well with Li Xiana. Thinking that he had not yet given a gift to Li Xiana, Yifeng decided to buy 2. I really like this throbbing youth. I want to wrap them up separately. Okay. Mr. Yi, please wait a moment, I will wrap them up for you. Mo Qingqing quickly brought 3 gift boxes, with the male watch in the blue box and the female watch in the pink box. Yifeng paid with his credit card and left. Mo Qingqing looked at the departing back of Yifeng for a while, lost in thought. Qingqing, don't look anymore, Mr. Yi is already far away. A rich young man like him won't look at us. Sister Zhang, I didn't. I just fantasized that Mr. Yi was my boyfriend. That mesmerizing face is really never boring to look at, especially since he is so rich. Ha, yes, who doesn't like a handsome and rich young man? Chapter 13 Choosing a Gift. Yifeng, who had left, did not go far. At this time, he was thinking about what gift to give his mother, and he was casually browsing when he saw a jewelry store not far away. Yifeng walked over and entered the store. Welcome to Defu Jewelry. This gentleman, if you need anything, you can tell me, or you can look around first, the salesperson said warmly as he watched Yifeng walk into the store. Yifeng was also visiting a jewelry store for the first time and was not familiar with it, so he responded, I want to buy an emerald bracelet to give to my mother. Can you show me around? Okay, sir, please follow me. Following the salesperson to the display stand, he looked at the dazzling array of bracelets and didn't know how to choose. Seeing Yifeng so at a loss, the salesperson spoke in a timely manner, Sir, look at this pair of bright green bracelets. They are very suitable for middle-aged women. With the salesperson's introduction, Yifeng gained a basic understanding of jadeite. After looking around, he noticed that prices ranged from tens of thousands to several 100,000 yuan. He shuddered at the thought of his mother freaking out if she knew that he had bought his father a 3.5 million yuan watch and her a bracelet that cost several 100,000 yuan, and hurriedly said to the salesperson, Do you have any bracelets of better quality that are priced at 3.5 million yuan or more? Sir, please wait a moment. There is an icy jadeite bracelet that meets your requirements. I will go find the store manager to apply for it. Soon after, the salesperson and the store manager carefully brought a brocade box. The store manager carefully placed the brocade box in the center of the table, afraid that it would break if he wasn't careful. Hello, sir, this is the icy jadeite bracelet you wanted to see. Yifeng carefully observed it. The jadeite bracelet was of fine and warm texture, shimmering with a soft luster in the light. It was extremely transparent, and the internal lines could be clearly seen. At that moment, a woman with a fierce expression rushed over, grabbed the bracelet and tried it on. Madam, this gentleman saw the bracelet first, the salesperson hurriedly said. Humph, so what if he saw it first, he didn't pay for it, and as long as I wear it on my hand, it'll be mine. Just tell me how much it is, I'll buy it, the woman said arrogantly. Baby, only you can match this bracelet, a man in his early 20s with a handsome face said flattery. Yifeng saw this scene and suppressed his nausea. He really can call this baby. It seems that he should be a small puppy being kept. This bracelet can be given to this lady, I don't really want it anymore. Yifeng felt sick at the sight of the fat woman, so how could he want something she had touched? But then something even more disgusting happened. Young man, you're smart to know better. Are you interested in following me? As long as you're in good health, I guarantee you can buy a car in 1 year and a house in 5. Think about it. After she finished speaking, the middle-aged woman even threw a seductive glance at Yifeng. At this point, Yifeng could no longer stand it, and he threw up in the trash can, then pointed at the middle-aged woman and yelled, "You fat bitch, you look like a pig, you're about to make me sick. Get out of here." The middle-aged woman instantly became furious. She hated it when people called her fat and called her a pig, so she immediately rushed towards Yifeng. Yifeng dodged to the side, and saw the middle-aged woman slam into the wall. The young man immediately ran up and with difficulty helped her up. "Baby, are you okay? You're breaking my heart. Let me see if you're hurt." The middle-aged woman raised her hand and slapped the man, angrily saying, "Go on, hit him. I don't even recognize him anymore." As soon as the man charged up, Yifeng kicked him to the ground. The middle-aged woman saw what happened and was honest enough not to go any further. "Kid, you're ruthless. Sooner or later, you'll fall into my hands." "Oh. It seems that you are quite capable. What do you do? How could you fall into my hands?" Yifeng asked her with a smile. "Kid, I'm in the funeral business." "Scared, aren't you?" "Ha ha." Yifeng immediately jumped to the side. "This is too unlucky." The middle-aged woman kicked the young man lying on the ground twice. "Don't pretend to be dead, hurry up and follow me." Upon hearing this, the young man immediately got up and followed the middle-aged woman. At this time, the store manager immediately came over to stop the other party. "Madam, this bracelet costs 3.8 million Chinese yuan. Would you like to pay by credit card or transfer?" "What? It's so expensive." Upon hearing this, the store manager gave a look, and several salespeople gathered around. The middle-aged woman had no choice but to obediently pay by credit card and flee in disgrace. Yifeng then looked at the store manager and asked, "Store manager, do you have bracelets of this quality or higher quality?" The manager thought for a moment and said, "There is indeed, but it is not in the store, it is at the main store in the Magic City. There is an Imperial Jade bracelet, but the price is 100 million Huaxia coins. And if you need it, I can contact the main store to send it, but it will need to be verified, please forgive me." Yifeng didn't care, and opened his phone to show the manager. The manager saw the long string of numbers and stood there in shock. After he reacted, he quickly invited Yifeng into the VIP room. Half an hour later, a team of security guards escorted an exquisite box to the Defu Jewelry Wanda store. In the VIP room, a mature and stable middle-aged man with bright and energetic eyes skillfully opened the box. "Mr. Yi, I am Zhu Mingjie, the person in charge of Defu Jewelry in Shanghai. Thank you for choosing our Defu Jewelry. This is a glass-type imperial green bracelet. Please appreciate it." Yifeng walked forward and saw that the emerald green bracelet was almost transparent, exuding a rich green color. The surface was smooth as a mirror and it lay quietly in the box like a work of art. Yifeng decided at first glance that he wanted it and turned to Zhu Mingjie and said, "Mr. Zhu, I'll take this bracelet. I'll just swipe my card. This bracelet is simply perfect." Yifeng took out his black card and threw it to Zhu Mingjie, and continued to admire the bracelet. Congratulations to the host, spending 100 million Huaxia coins, getting a cashback of 10 billion Huaxia coins, which has been credited to the Supreme Black Card with the last digit 8888. Yifeng took the black card handed over by Zhu Mingjie, took the bracelet, and left. Back in the car, he carefully stored the gifts he bought today, leaving only a pink gift box on the passenger seat, and drove to Muda University. When he arrived at the dormitory, Yifeng sent a message to Li Xiana, and in a short while, Li Xiana ran out cheerfully and rushed into Yifeng's arms. "Brother Feng, I've missed you so much." He. After a long while, the two of them parted, and Yifeng handed the gift to Li Xiana. "Guess what's inside?" "Haha, I'm not going to guess, I like whatever you give me, Feng." The two of them just held hands and strolled around the campus, enjoying the leisurely time. They passed by the supermarket and Yifeng bought 2 bottles of lemonade, then the two of them sat down on a nearby bench. Chapter 14 Going Home. Xiaona, I'm taking the morning flight tomorrow, I'm going home for a few days. Brother Feng, then I won't be able to see you for a few days. When you go home, remember to miss me and don't forget to reply to my messages. Yifeng looked at Li Xiaona and petted her head affectionately. It felt so good to be missed. Don't worry, how could I not reply to your messages? You're so cute, I don't think I've seen enough of you. Li Xiaona nodded with a smile, snuggled up against Yifeng's shoulder, and her face was full of happiness. Brother Feng, if only I were a little older, if I were the same age as you, then I could have met you earlier and married you sooner. Yifeng hugged her tightly, this silly girl. Don't worry, I see all living beings as grass and trees, but only you as a green mountain. No matter what happens in this life, I will never give up on you. The two of them just quietly snuggled up to each other. At this moment, silence speaks louder than words. Two close hearts speak louder than 1,000 words. As the sky gradually darkened, the two smiled at each other and said at the same time, let's go eat. The two laughed at the same time. Some people have known each other for a long time, but are separated by the world, while some have just met, but it seems like 1,000 years. Brother Feng, you have a flight to catch tomorrow, so I'll treat you to the cafeteria today. Hee hee, I once fantasized about buying cafeteria food with you. Hee hee, I have a big appetite, so you're going to have to spend a lot today. The two walked hand in hand towards the cafeteria, and people kept exclaiming along the way, what a handsome couple. Brother Feng, what would you like to eat? Yifeng thought for a moment and said, I'll have some xiaolongbao and a bowl of egg soup. Wait a moment, waiter, I'll be right back. With that, he skipped off. This treasure, just imagine, after marrying her, life will definitely be full of joy. Sir, your xiaolongbao and egg soup are here, please enjoy. After saying that, he sat down opposite Yifeng and started eating. Xiaona, do you like xiaolongbao too? Looking at the same food on the table, Yifeng asked in surprise. Shouldn't girls like snail vermicelli and rice noodles? Hey, I want to try the food that Finga likes, but unfortunately there are no pancake fruits from Tianjin here, otherwise I would definitely try them. Seeing her serious expression, Yifeng felt a burst of warmth. After dinner, at Li Xiaona's repeated request, Yifeng could only take her back to the dormitory, and then obediently went home to sleep. There was no choice, as he had to catch a flight in the morning. Li Xiaona returned to the dormitory, and the 3 gossiping girls immediately surrounded her. Xiaona, haven't you expressed your feelings about the date yet? Yes, tell us, did you and the senior kiss? Shernan, on the other hand, noticed that she was carrying a pink gift box and immediately her eyes lit up. Xiaona, is this a gift from Senior Yifeng? Open it and take a look. Under the coercion of the 3, Li Xiaona obediently opened the gift box and an exquisite pink watch appeared before everyone's eyes. Li Bingbing saw the brand of the watch at a glance and looked at Li Xiaona in surprise. Xiaona, this is actually a Patek Philippe, the top luxury watch in the world. Sun Jingjing on the side immediately took out her phone and looked it up. Xiaona, this is a new Patek Philippe model, priced at 2.8 million Chinese yuan. Xiaona, I didn't realize that Yifeng is still a local tyrant, hee hee, you have to treat us to something delicious, I want to eat snail noodles with pig's feet. Li Xiaona was also shocked, 2.8 million Chinese yuan. Is Brother Feng that generous? Bing Bing, Shernan, Jingjing, I feel that I cannot accept this gift, it is too valuable, I want to return it to Brother Feng, I am not with him for these things. Hearing her words, the 3 nodded in agreement. At this time, Yifeng, who was lying in bed and watching short videos, received a message from Li Xiaona. Brother Feng, the gift you gave me is too valuable, I cannot accept it, I want to return it to you. Yifeng looked at the message and felt a pang of distress. He never expected that the first gift he gave to Li Xiaona would be too valuable to accept. After organizing his thoughts, Yifeng replied, Xiaona, I don't know if you're rejecting the gift or rejecting me. When I picked out this watch, my first thought was that it suits you perfectly, not its value. I want to give you everything I come across that suits you. It's not about the money, but because you're my girlfriend and I want to share it with you. Brother Feng, I'm not rejecting you, it's just that it's too expensive. If I accept it, I feel like I'm with you for your money. Xiaona, I know your character, so I don't think you're with me for the money. If you don't accept it, then I'll have to give it to someone else, and you don't want that, do you? After Yifeng's constant persuasion, in the end, Li Xiaona helplessly accepted it. Women are really hard to understand. I don't want to think about it. I'm going to sleep. Early the next morning, Yifeng got up early, packed his things, took a taxi, and went straight to the airport. He passed through security without a problem and, at the guidance of a flight attendant, went to his seat. Yifeng took out his phone, adjusted the angle, took a selfie, and sent it to Li Shana. Shana, I've boarded the plane, don't worry. After putting away his phone, Yifeng also lay on his seat and rested quietly. Not far away, several flight attendants in uniform were chatting idly. Lily, I just found a cute guy in first class. Those deep eyes, that high-nose bridge, wow. He's so attractive, if I weren't already in a relationship, I'd go after him. Are you interested? Maybe we can switch shifts. Sister Hon, are you serious? I'll go check it out. I love looking at cute guys. I guarantee you'll be smitten. I don't think the cute guy is just wearing anything. He's probably a rich kid. Lily, you have to take your chance. Soon, a sense of weightlessness came, and the plane took off. As the plane rose steadily, the view gradually opened up, and the scenery on the ground could be seen. Yifeng, who was resting his eyes, heard footsteps approaching, so he slowly opened his eyes. A pretty face with a hint of charm appeared before him. Her facial features were like finely crafted works of art, and her face was filled with a warm smile as she said softly, "Hello, sir. May I ask if you would like something to drink? We have tea, red wine, orange juice, and cola." Yifeng looked at this somewhat familiar face and tentatively asked, "Molly?" Molly also looked carefully at his face at this time, and said in surprise, "Yifeng?" Yifeng smiled and looked at Molly and said, "Old classmate, long time no see." "Yes, it's been almost 4 years since graduation. Look at you, you've become rich, haven't you? All our money, you're a local tyrant. Don't tease me, by the way, did the school recommend you for an internship?" "Yes, I just finished my 3-month internship, and I'll be joining the company full-time after graduation." "Old friend, let me have your contact information, I want to cling to the local tyrant's thighs." He. Chapter 15 Buying a car. After exchanging contact information, Molly got him a glass of orange juice and left after making a date to have a big meal. Yifeng also fell into deep thought. He and Molly were classmates and even sat next to each other at the same table. During the busy and passionate years of high school, the two became best friends, helping and sabotaging each other. However, later, Molly confessed to Yifeng and failed. Coupled with the divorce of her parents, her personality gradually became withdrawn, and the relationship between the two gradually became strange. On the other side, seeing Molly return, Hong Jie approached and asked, "Isn't he very handsome?" "Molly, you have to seize the opportunity." Molly smiled bitterly, "The flower has fallen, the water is indifferent. He was once my classmate, and I confessed to him, but I was rejected. He said he only saw me as a friend. After graduation, we lost contact for 4 years. Now that we've met again, I've let go. It's also nice to be friends." 2.5 hours later, the plane landed safely at Tianjin Airport. Yifeng and Molly said goodbye and left. Outside the airport, the air of his hometown felt nostalgic, although not fresh. Home is the concern of every wanderer. No matter where they are, there is always a sense of attachment and longing in their hearts. After adjusting his mindset, he got into the car and set off for home. When he arrived at the door, Yifeng calmed his excitement a little and knocked on the door. His mother's nagging voice came from inside the door. "Who is it?" "It's the middle of the day, quite a coincidence, I've just finished lunch." When she opened the door and saw Yifeng standing there, she froze for a moment. When she came to her senses, she pulled him into the house. Looking at her eldest son, whom she had not seen for 6 months, she complained, "You little brat, you didn't even say you were coming back. Have you eaten yet? Come, I've just made egg noodles. You eat first while I see what else I can cook." Seeing that his mother was going to the kitchen to cook again, he hurriedly stopped her. "Mom, don't bother, I haven't had your egg noodles in a long time, I'll just eat this." "Okay, what do you want to eat tonight? I'll cook it for you. Yilin will be so happy when she finds out you're back. You don't know, she talks about the day you'll come back every day, it's driving me crazy." While his mother was talking, a smile of happiness was always on her face. "Mom, you don't need to bother, let's go out for dinner tonight, I'll treat. Your son has made a fortune." "Son, aren't you doing an internship? How did you make a fortune?" Ye's mother looked at him with a puzzled expression. "Mom, I had some bitcoins before, I sold them recently when the price was good." "That's not worth much, you keep it, I'll treat you tonight, I have money." Ye's mother didn't know much about virtual currency and didn't care. Mom, where did my younger sister go? That girl, she goes out to play every day and doesn't know to help me with some chores at home. Today, it seems like she went to the beach with her classmates. After eating the egg noodles, Yifeng lay down on the sofa, which had been his bed for several years. The family home was not big, 90 square meters, 2 rooms. When he was young, his parents had one room, and Yifeng and Yilin had the other. As Yilin grew up, Yifeng moved to the sofa. After all, even siblings should avoid suspicion. Later, when his parents became worried that Yifeng was not getting enough rest, they suggested that he move into their room. Yifeng did not agree, and in the end, he got a sofa bed, which he pulled out from under the sofa at night to make a bed. Now there are still more than 100 billion Huaxia coins in the account, and tomorrow he must take his parents and younger sister to buy a villa. He also needs to buy a car. Oh yes, about the car, it's still early, so Yifeng plans to go now and buy the car first. Mom, I'm going out for a while, I'll be back before dinner. You child, you just got home and you're going out, be careful. Leaving home, Yifeng took a taxi to the Jincheng Luxury Car Club, a large luxury car sales company divided into 2 floors, each floor is about 5,000 square meters. Walking into the store, there weren't many people inside, probably because it was a weekday. Yifeng wandered around at will. Yifeng, you're home? You didn't even contact me when you got home. Let's have a drink. By the way, why are you here? Planning to buy a car? I work here in sales. Let me know if you like any of them, and I'll ask the manager to give you a discount. Yifeng recognized the person approaching him and gave him a hug. The person was his childhood friend Wei Liang. I just got home today. I didn't expect to run into you when I went out for a stroll. Come, let's walk and chat. I'll even introduce you to the cars, or else the boss will fine us again when he sees us. Liangzi, what luxury cars do you have here? Show me. You're right, there is a new supercar here. It's the Aston Martin 1-77, one of the world's top supercars. It's just expensive. Let me show you on the second floor. When they arrived on the second floor, a silver supercar immediately caught Yifeng's attention. Wei Liang introduced, this is the Aston Martin 1-77. It is equipped with a naturally aspirated 7.3L V12 engine, with a maximum power of 760 horsepower and a maximum torque of 750 Nm. It can accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.5 seconds and reach a top speed of 354 km per hour. The performance is not particularly powerful, but what is even more formidable is its price, 50 million Chinese yuan. I could never earn that much in a lifetime. Liangzi, do you have the keys? I want to take a look. Yifeng really liked the car and was planning to buy it. Xiaofeng, wait a minute, I'll ask the manager. I don't have the authority to sell this car, but I'll try my best. With that, Wei Liang quickly walked towards the manager's office. After waiting for a while and seeing that Wei Liang had not returned, Yifeng walked over to the manager's office next door. As soon as he reached the door, he heard the manager yelling at Wei Liang. Who do you think you are? Show it to your friends. Do you know how expensive that car is? You couldn't pay for it even if you sold your body. Is this kind of car something you lowly people should be looking at? Recognize your place and get out of here. Yifeng couldn't stand it anymore. He kicked open the door because Wei Liang had been scolded because of him. You son of a bitch, you dare to scold my brother? I'll waste you right now, believe it or not. Wei Liang saw Yifeng rush in and immediately came forward to hold him back, saying, Xiaofeng, don't be impulsive, I'm fine, come out with me quickly, we can't afford to provoke them. Seeing Yifeng being held back, the manager Wu Fei also grew bold. Kid, do you know what kind of place this is? Daring to cause trouble, I think you are impatient to live. Also, Wei Liang, you are fired, now get the hell out of here. Hearing that Wei Liang had been fired, Yifeng became even more furious, and after breaking free from Wei Liang, he kicked Wu Fei to the ground. Chapter 16 First. Meeting with Qian Zhongwen. The noise of the quarrel and fight on the second floor quickly attracted a lot of customers to gather around. At this time, the security guards from Mingchui also arrived. They were also very dissatisfied with manager Wu Fei, so they waited until after Yifeng had finished fighting before they arrived. Seeing the security guards arrive, Wu Fei pointed at Yifeng and said angrily, you guys hurry up and get to work. Beat him up good. Otherwise, I'll fire all of you. The security guards looked at each other, and none of them stepped forward. The security team leader stepped forward at this time and said, Manager Wu, the conflict is over now. We have no right to beat up customers of the luxury car club. Wu Fei's face was ugly, and he pointed at the security team leader without saying a word. A middle-aged man came to the scene with a serious expression and asked, Can one of you tell me what happened? Wu Fei saw the person coming and immediately rushed over and cried, Mr. Qian, this Wei Liang and this kid came to our car exchange to cause trouble and even hit me. Mr. Qian, you have to do something for me. The person who came was the owner of the car exchange, Qian Zhongwen. Despite his refined and elegant demeanor, he was once a well-known figure in the underworld, but later seized the opportunity to successfully go straight. Qian Zhongwen looked at Yi Feng and Wei Liang and said, Young man, I want an explanation. An invisible pressure was exerted on Yi Feng, who steadied himself. He looked Yi Feng in the eye and said slowly, Mr. Qian, I have heard about your past deeds, but today I came here to buy a car with my friend. This Wu Fei actually insulted me and my friend. This is inappropriate, indeed. It was my fault for hitting him, and I am willing to make compensation. Qian Zhongwen looked at Yi Feng with admiration. He was so young but was able to withstand his pressure, and he spoke with reason and evidence. He then looked at Wu Fei. Seeing Qian Zhongwen's gaze, he hurriedly explained, Mr. Qian, this kid was looking at the Aston Martin 177. How can he afford it? I refused. Young man, is he right? Mr. Qian, you also think I can't afford it? I was going to buy it, but now I don't want to. Yi Feng looked at Qian Zhongwen and said seriously. Young man, are you admitting that you're messing with me? Or are you playing a trick on me? Play you? No, I just want to ask Mr. Qian, will you sell your luxury car dealership? Name a price, I'll take it. Young man, this luxury car dealership is worth almost 1 billion, are you sure? At this time, Qian Zhongwen not only felt admiration, but also curiosity. He wondered where Yi Feng got the confidence. Mr. Qian, I'll pay 1.5 billion for the luxury car dealership. I don't know if you're satisfied with this price. Qian Zhongwen looked into Yi Feng's eyes. He was sure that the young man was serious. He said doubtfully, Young man, I can tell that you don't care about Ming Chui. Why do you want to buy it? Yi Feng pointed at Wu Fei and said, Because of him, I want to get rid of him. Is it worth it? It's worth it. Seeing Yi Feng's affirmative answer, Qian Zhongwen nodded with satisfaction and said, Bao Shun, break Wu Fei's leg and get him out of Tianjin. After a scream, Wu Fei was dragged out of the luxury car showroom. Qian Zhongwen smiled and said, Now you have no reason not to buy, and you are still welcome to buy the car. Young man, are you interested in coming to my office for a cup of tea? Mr. Qian, wait a minute, I'll let my friend buy the car for me first, otherwise I'll really be a nuisance. He then took out his card and gave it to Wei Liang, telling him to buy a Bentley Bentayga and an Aston Martin 177. Then he and Qian Zhongwen went to his office. After pouring a cup of tea for Yi Feng, Qian Zhongwen looked at him and said, Young man, I really admire you. You are very similar to me when I was young, you are loyal, have courage, and are responsible. I know it is unlikely for you to work for me, so I want to be friends with you. Yi Feng had already intended to become friends, after all, he had been in the demon capital for a long time, and if anything happened to his parents, he would not be able to deal with it in time, so he readily agreed. Ha, in the future I will call you Yi brother, and you can just call me Qian brother. In the future, if you have any difficulties, just tell me, and don't go anywhere else, because I still have some face in this area of Tianjin. As a big shot who has been around for more than 10 years, Qian Zhongwen is a very good judge of character. A man like Yi Feng is definitely not someone to be trifled with. If you befriend him now, you will definitely reap the rewards in the future. But what he doesn't know is that it is precisely this friendship that will prevent him from suffering a catastrophe in the future. Brother Qian, you are also in the real estate industry. Do you have any good villas to recommend? Brother, I have developed a villa area at Donghu Resort. Go there tomorrow and take a look at whichever one you like, and I will give it to you for free. Brother Qian, I can just buy it, it's not that much money. That's fine, you don't need that much money. Buddy, don't go home tonight, let's have a drink, I have a good bottle of wine. Brother Qian, I really can't today, I just got back from the Magic City, I promised to have dinner with my parents, I'll treat you some other time. Okay, I'll be waiting, buddy. Ha ha. After chatting for a while, Yi Feng took his leave. After leaving the office, Wei Liang rushed over. Xiaofeng, you rich bastard, when did you get rich? Here, this is your card. I've also benefited from you today. I'll make 1.5 million just from these 2 cars today. Ha, let's see when you're free, I'll treat you to a big meal. Sure, I'll treat you to a big meal after I'm done with these few days. Liangzi, you have to do well. Just now, Brother Qian said he wants to promote you to sales supervisor, so you have to work hard. Okay, I will definitely work hard. If you are busy, go ahead. I need to tell Shelby that the dowry and the house are all settled. Yifeng asked the staff to help him drive the Bentley home, while he himself sped all the way home in the Aston Martin 177. Yifeng waited downstairs for a while before the staff arrived, parked the car, and gave the staff a 1,000 yuan red envelope. The staff left with many thanks. When he arrived home, Yifeng's father had already returned home and was tending to the flowers and plants on the balcony. When he saw Yifeng enter the door, he immediately came out, patted him on the shoulder and laughed, "You brat, you didn't even say you were coming back, so I couldn't go to pick you up." Yifeng's mother, who was doing the laundry, yelled, "You old man, you just finished with the flowers and you're patting my son, so you wash the clothes that you've made dirty." On hearing this, Yifeng's father went off to wash his hands in disgrace, which made Yifeng burst out laughing. Before long, Yilin opened the door and came back, and as soon as she saw Yifeng, she rushed up to him and hugged him. "Stinking brother, you didn't even tell me you were coming back, or I wouldn't have gone out to play today. Okay, I've got a present for you. Do you want to see it?" Yilin let go of Yifeng and hurriedly said, "Where is it? Show it to me quickly." Hee hee, I knew that you were the best brother in the world. Chapter 17 Gifts for Family. Yifeng took the gifts he had prepared from next to the sofa and placed them on the table. Yifeng's parents also gathered around at this time, looking at the 3 exquisite gift boxes. Yilin's eyes sparkled. "Brother, is this pink one for me?" "Hee hee, I like pink the best." After saying that, she snatched it into her hands. "Dad and Mom, this is your gift." The old couple took the gift and looked at Yifeng with relief. Their son had grown up and knew how to give back to his parents. Yilin, who was standing nearby, had already opened the gift box and taken out the exquisite watch, unable to put it down. She took several photos to post on her moments to show off her brother's affection. "Dad, Mom, you should open it too. Look how beautiful my watch is." Had ha. Father and Mother Yi successively opened the gift boxes. Father Yi took the watch and put it on, unable to hide his happiness. Mother Yi opened the gift box and a jade green bracelet appeared before the 3 of them. Yifeng's mother put it on her wrist and loved it very much, but quickly took it off and said, "Xiaofeng, this must be very expensive. Mom is old and doesn't need to wear these. You can return it and keep the money to give you a daughter-in-law." Yifeng's father also reluctantly took off the watch and put it back in the box. Just as Yifeng was trying to persuade his parents, Yilin shouted, "Brother! My classmate said that the watch you gave me is a Patek Philippe. It's worth 2.8 million Chinese yuan." Yilin looked at Yifeng in surprise. "Not only yours, but Dad's is the same, and it's even more expensive." Yifeng's mother looked at him nervously and said, "Xiaofeng, we can't do anything illegal." "Don't worry, it's absolutely legal. Little sister, tell your mother about Bitcoin." When Yifeng's father and mother learned that the highest price of a Bitcoin was nearly 2 million Chinese yuan, they found it incredible. At this time, Yilin came over and asked with a mysterious look on her face, "Brother, how much is that bracelet my mom is wearing?" "A small goal." After saying this, Yifeng called for the family to go out to dinner. Yilin looked at her mother with stars in her eyes. This was a walking small goal. When they arrived downstairs, Yifeng called out to his parents, who were walking out the door. "Dad and Mom, I bought Dad a car this afternoon, let's go for a drive." "Brother, which car is it?" Yifeng nudged his lips. Looking in the direction of Yifeng's lips, Yilin immediately ran over. "Brother, it's a beetle." Looking at his sister, who was lying on the beetle and constantly fiddling with it, Yifeng was full of black lines, quickly walked over, grabbed her ear, pressed the car key, and then the white Bentley next to it lit up. Yilin looked at him with a face full of grievances and said, "Brother, that hurts." "Hey, it's a Bentley. Brother, you can give me one too." "Okay, after you get your driver's license, I'll give you one." "You little girl, how old do you have to be to want a car?" "Lin, you spoil her too much," Ye's mother scolded. Amidst the bickering between the mother and daughter, Ye's father drove to the Jinhui restaurant. The Jinhui restaurant is one of the top Chinese restaurants in the city, specializing in various cuisines, both Chinese and Western, and the decoration is even more luxurious. They arrived at the front desk. "Young lady, give us a private room." Sir, there is a minimum charge for private rooms. If you are not a large group, I suggest you sit in the lobby, said the receptionist politely. Let's have a private room. I want a quiet environment. The four of them went to the private room. Yifeng didn't bother to order and directly ordered a 188,888 set meal. The Tianjin gourmet restaurant is worthy of being a top restaurant. The dishes were served one after the other in no time. Looking at the dazzling array of food, Yilin's mouth watered. Yifeng's mother looked at Yifeng complainingly, blaming him for spending money recklessly. Yifeng's father, on the other hand, sat there cheerfully. At the dinner table, Yifeng kept helping his parents to eat. Mom and Dad, you should eat more. This food is really good. Try this Wagyu beef. Mom, you should drink your bird's nest soup. I'll pour you some more if you like it. Yilin, on the other side, used the lobster pincers to stab the roast pig fiercely, looking at Yifeng with a face of resentment, as if to say why he didn't pick her food. Dad and Mom, I plan for us to go look at a house tomorrow. I've already made the contact, it's at the East Lake Resort. I bought the car so that you can travel there more easily in the future. Okay, let's go check it out tomorrow. It's about time we picked out a house for you to get married in, otherwise if you keep spending money like this, you'll run out sooner or later, his mother said with deep agreement. Brother, you really have good taste. My classmates live there, and it's really great. There's a resort, an amusement park, and a hot spring hotel. Hee, there's so much to do, and it's only half an hour from the city, which is really convenient. And according to my classmates, the subway is already being planned there, and construction is going to start next year. You know quite a bit, Mom. I'll transfer some money to you. You've never been willing to spend money, but now that your son has money, you can spend it without worry. I'll transfer more after you've spent it all. After saying this, Yifeng transferred 20 million huaxia coins to his mother. It wasn't that he didn't want to transfer more, he was just afraid that if he transferred too much, his mother wouldn't be able to handle it. Yifeng's father was beside him, desperately giving him signs, and Yifeng returned a reassuring look, then transferred 200W to his father as well. Seeing Yilin looking at him expectantly, Yifeng couldn't bear it, and transferred 50W to her as well. It's not good to put too much money on a little girl. After the meal, Yifeng stopped his mother from taking leftovers, saying that he was worth hundreds of billions, and how could he let his mother eat leftovers? When they got home, Yifeng's parents went to bed early, while the brother and sister sat on the sofa chatting. Brother, I feel like today was so surreal, I'm a little scared. I'm afraid that when I wake up, it'll be a dream, and you'll still be in the magic city. I'm also afraid that this is real, that you'll get busier and busier in the future, and won't be able to take care of me. Silly girl, what are you thinking? How could I not take care of you? We're blood relatives, and I'll be able to help you solve any problems in the future. Hey, thanks, brother. You get some rest, I'm going to my room. Yifeng smiled helplessly. This little girl is getting more and more thoughtful. Lying on the sofa, he talked with Li Xiona for a while and then fell asleep. He was indeed a bit tired today. Early in the morning, Yifeng was woken up by Yilin. Looking at the time, it was just a little after 7 o'clock. He said helplessly to her, "Little sister, it's just 7 o'clock. Keep your voice down, I want to sleep a little longer." Oh, brother, we're going to buy a big house in a little while, so I'm just excited. Don't sleep either, and see if I look pretty in this skirt today, hee. Yifeng replied pretty without even looking up, at which point his mother came out and pulled Yilin away, who was still talking. Your brother got off the plane yesterday and went out without even taking a break, so you hurry back to the house and let him sleep a little. Yilin stuck out her tongue and sulkily went back to the house. Chapter 18 Buying a house for my parents. Yifeng woke up slowly at around 9 o'clock. After a quick wash at Yilin's urging, and after having breakfast, the family set off. At this time, Yifeng's father was already waiting in the car. Seeing the three of them get off, he said, "Xiaofeng, this car is really good. I never thought I would be able to drive a Bentley in my life, huh? Look at you bragging, it's all because of your son. Get in the car quickly, let's hurry up and set off," Yifeng's mother said. Yifeng took out the other set of car keys and said to his parents, "I'll drive the other one. I bought 2 cars yesterday." Seeing Yifeng walk over to the Aston Martin 177, Yilin rushed out of the car, walked over to her side, pulled open the passenger seat and sat down with a smile, shouting at Yifeng's parents, "Dad and Mom, you go ahead. I'll take the sports car as the older brother, hee. After arriving at the car, Yilin looked at the exquisite and luxurious interior and asked Yifeng, "Brother, this car must be very expensive, right? I read online that sports cars are all worth millions. How much did you pay for this car?" Looking at his money-obsessed sister, Yifeng felt that it was time to give her a good lesson. "This is an Aston Martin 1-77, 50 million Chinese yuan. You little girl, don't always care about these things. Don't worry, after you get your driver's license, I'll buy you a sports car. So that you don't let others trick me away easily in the future. I knew that brother loved me the most, hee hee." The East Lake Resort is not far from Yifeng's home. It took less than 20 minutes to get there. When he was a child, before the resort was built, he also came here with his parents to play and dug a large bucket of clams. The East Lake Villa is located beside the quiet lake, surrounded by lush trees, with an open view, allowing people to escape from the hustle and bustle of the city and feel the breath of nature. The four of them arrived at the sales center. Looking at the resplendent decorations, Yifeng's parents were a little timid, while Yilin was excitedly looking around. Since it was a villa sales center, there weren't many people. A few salespeople with gorgeous makeup gathered together to chat idly. When they saw Yifeng's family arrive, no one came to receive them. "Brother, come quickly. Look at this villa. The location is particularly good. You can see the entire view of East Lake from the courtyard. Let's go take a look," Yilin excitedly said to Yifeng. Walking up to the sand table, Yifeng saw that the location was indeed very good, so he shouted to the salesperson chatting nearby, "Salesperson, show us this villa on site." The salespersons were disgusted. They felt that taking Yifeng and his family there was a complete waste of time. Yifeng frowned, about to lose his temper, when a young girl ran over. "Sir, if you don't mind, I can show you this villa on site, but I've only just started and I'm not very skilled yet." Yifeng looked at the young girl in front of him. She was not old, and should be a student working part-time during the summer vacation. Looking at the name tag on the young girl, he knew her name was Su Yali. "Miss Su, then please show us around," Yifeng said, beckoning his parents and younger sister to follow Su Yali to see the house. The salesperson on the side sneered, "Yali, don't bother, just look at them, they don't look like they can afford a villa, they must be here for the freebies." Su Yali didn't pay any attention to them, but instead looked at Yifeng seriously and asked, "Sir, what is your surname?" "My surname is Yi. I think you are about the same age as my sister, so you must still be a student, so don't be nervous." "Mr. Yi, I am a student and I came out to work during the summer vacation. Please wait a moment, I will go find a sightseeing car." After she finished speaking, she ran to the door and found a sightseeing car, which she drove to the door. The Yi family of four got into the car and arrived at Villa 8 in East Lake. The exterior of the villa features a simple, modern design, with white walls blending in harmoniously with the surrounding natural environment. "Mr. Yi, this is the villa you saw on the sand table earlier. Please come in." Su Yali opened the villa door and invited the group in. The interior of the villa is also simple and modern, with high-quality furniture and decorations. The living room is spacious and bright, with floor-to-ceiling windows filling the room with natural light. The bedrooms are warm and comfortable, with soft bedding and exquisite bedside tables. The kitchen is fully equipped, providing the occupants with convenient cooking conditions. The bathroom is spacious and tidy, with high-end sanitary ware and shower facilities. The garden design of the villa is also meticulous, with lush greenery and fragrant flowers. The winding paths guide people on a stroll. In the center of the garden is a small fountain. The sound of water gurgling adds a sense of tranquility and peace to the entire villa. "Mr. Yi, this Villa 8 is the largest in the entire East Lake Villas, and it also has the best view. It is also fully furnished, so you can just move in with your suitcases. And everything from the furniture and appliances to the various decoration materials are of the best quality. The price is also very high, otherwise it wouldn't have been able to stay on the market until now." Yes, parents didn't say anything, but their love was evident in their eyes. Yilin, needless to say, was even more so, scurrying around the room, touching this and looking at that. At this moment, Yifeng said decisively, "Miss Su, this is the one. Let's go back and sign the contract." Su Sali doubted that she had heard it wrong and asked seriously, "Mr. Yi, are you saying that you want to buy this villa?" "Well, I want it. Let's go back and sign the contract. I'll pay the full price." Su Sali jumped up excitedly. This was her first order, and it was also a big order of 50 million. Now she would never have to worry about tuition fees, and she could also improve her life and her mother's life. Realizing her inappropriate behavior, Swali blushed and hurriedly explained, "Mr. Yi, I'm really sorry, I'm just so happy, this is my first order. It's okay, let's go, I'm waiting for you to take us back, but don't get too excited while driving, I don't want to go for a bath in Donghu Lake, Yifeng teased. The group soon returned to the sales center. Upon seeing Swali return, the mocking voices of several salespeople came again. You're back so soon, I can see that you must have been shocked by the luxury of Villa 8. Exactly, they must have done good deeds in their past lives to be able to see such a luxurious villa. Ms. Zhang, Ms. Zhao, no, Mr. Yi has decided to buy Villa 8, we are back to sign the contract. The salespersons were full of disbelief, and then a feeling of jealousy welled up in them. Soon after, Swali, who had prepared the contract, came to Yifeng together with the sales manager Wang Yan. Mr. Yi, I am sales manager Wang Yan. The contract is ready. Please come with me to the finance department to sign the contract. When they arrived at the finance department, Yifeng transferred 50 million yuan to the account and signed the contract. Manager Wang, does the sales commission go to Miss Su? Yifeng asked as he was leaving the finance department. Chapter 19 Investment. Wang Yan looked at Yifeng and said, Mr. Yi, don't worry, the commission will definitely go to Yali. Yifeng was worried that Su Yali, a temporary salesperson, would have her performance results attributed to this manager Wang. He still appreciated the self-reliant young girl, so he reminded him, Manager Wang, I and you are always friends. I hope you will do what you say you will do. After Yifeng left, Wang Yan immediately called Qian Zhongwen. Mr. Qian, a young man named Yifeng came to our villa sales center today and purchased Villa 8. After the payment was made, I realized that he was your friend. I failed to give him the best deal. This is my fault. Please punish me. Oh. Yifeng is really decisive. He went today after just talking yesterday. It's okay, it's not your fault. It's fine. He doesn't need the money. Is he gone? Never mind, I'll call him. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yan wiped the sweat from his forehead. He had almost offended the Buddha today. At this point, the little thought in his heart also completely extinguished, and he decided to pay Su Yali according to the highest standard. On the other side, Yifeng, who was about to leave, received a call from Qian Zhongwen. Ha, Yi brother, I heard from my subordinates that you bought Villa 8 today. That was a remarkable move. It's the king of villas. Thanks to you for supporting me, brother. Brother Qian, you're too polite. I should be thanking you for saving such a wonderful house for me. Brother, if you have time, I'm at the East Lake Golf Course. Are you interested in playing? Sure, Brother Qian, I'll be right there. After hanging up the phone, Yifeng told his parents that he was going out to meet a friend. Yilin, however, insisted on going with them, so they had no choice but to take her along. Brother, where are we going? Do I know your friend? Yilin asked like a curious baby. My friend is at the golf course not far from here. You haven't met this person, but you should have heard of his name, Yifeng said with a strange look on his face. I haven't met him? Who is he? Qian Zhongwen. Brother, is it still in time for me to get off the car now? Ha, you little girl is afraid of something. Is it late? The two arrived at their destination and were directed to the putting green after reporting the name Qian Zhongwen. When they arrived at the door, the muscular man, Leopard, whom they had met at the luxury car showroom, was guarding the door. Brother Leopard, I've come to see Brother Qian. Mr. Yi, you can just call me Leopard. Brother Qian is inside with some friends. After saying this, Leopard knocked on the door, heard a reply, and opened the door to invite Yifeng and his companion in. Upon entering the door, they saw Qian Zhongwen playing golf with a middle-aged man with a haggard face. Seeing Yifeng and the other person, Qian Zhongwen laughed and said, Yi, you came pretty quickly. Who is this young lady? Brother Qian, this is my younger sister. She heard that we were coming to the golf course and wanted to come along and watch. Brother, let me introduce you. This is Mr. Zhang Jiwei, the CEO of Yuando Investment. Zhang, this is my younger brother Yifeng. Don't let his young age fool you, he is very wealthy. Yifeng shook Zhang Jiwei's hand, and the two men considered themselves acquainted. At this time, a weak voice entered the ears of the three. A fool? Yifeng looked at Yilin with a black line on his face. How could he say that in front of other people? This little girl. Qian Zhongwen, who was standing nearby, burst out laughing. Grand investment, innocent fool, huh, you've got to be kidding me, Yifeng, your sister is just too cute. Zhang, you've been having so much bad luck lately, maybe it has something to do with your name. If people keep calling you an innocent fool, how can you be lucky? Zhang Jiwei nodded in deep agreement. At his age, he still believed in all that. Little sister, you really woke up a sleeping person with just a few words. Before, I always felt a bit awkward, but I didn't know where. It seems that I really need to change the name of the company. Xian Zhongwen invited the others to sit down. Yilin felt that the others had something to discuss, so she found a golf club and went to play golf in the distance. Lao Chen, I won't beat around the bush with you. I'm willing to invest in the land in the free trade zone, but I don't have the means. Can you inject capital into our joint development, or can I just transfer it to you? Zhang Jiwei said helplessly. He had spent 3 billion huaxia coins to bid on the land at the beginning, planning to build a large logistics and trade center. However, as fate would have it, due to the failure of investment in several major projects of the company, there was a serious shortage of funds, and he had no choice but to approach Chen Zhongwen. Zhang, I estimate that you will need to invest 10 billion huaxia coins to complete this project. I have to maintain the operation of my own projects, so I can only allocate 3 billion. I think you can only contribute 2 billion, which leaves a funding gap of 5 billion. This is a difficult situation. When Shen Zhongwen was trying to launder money, Zhang Jiwei gave him a lot of help, and he really wanted to help Zhang Jiwei, but the funding gap was too large, and there was nothing he could do. Just as the two men were at their wits' end, Yifeng spoke up. Zhang Ge, don't worry, I'll invest the 5 billion. If that's not enough, I can add more. The two looked at Yifeng in surprise. In Shen Zhongwen's opinion, Yifeng was so young that his net worth would be around 1 billion at the most, but this was 5 billion in cash, so his net worth was terrifying. At this moment, he realized that he originally wanted to establish a good relationship with a rising star in the future, but now he could see clearly that this was no rising star, this was now a bright moon. Brother Yi, how much can you add to it? Zhang Jiwei asked in a low voice. 10 billion, if that's not enough, we'll think of something else, Yifeng said casually. The two looked at each other, not knowing what to say. This is too much. It was finally agreed that Zhang Jiwei would contribute 2 billion plus land, accounting for 40% of the project, Yifeng would contribute 5 billion, accounting for 35% of the project, and Xian Zhongwen would contribute 3 billion, accounting for 25% of the project. Zhang Jiwei is responsible for the overall progress of the project. Two older brothers, I'm only responsible for paying the money, I'm not responsible for the project. I'm too lazy to do anything, I'll just take the dividends. Yifeng will be returning to the Devil Metropolis soon, and he doesn't want to get too involved. Wouldn't it be better to enjoy life while you still have the time? Brother Yi, I'll be the host tonight, let's get drunk. Lao Chen, you always say you have good wine, I want to try some tonight. After the three of them decided on the night, Yifeng took Yilin and bid farewell to Qian Zhongwen at the Donghu Hotel. On the way home, Yilin looked at Yifeng doubtfully and asked, Brother, I don't think Xian is as scary as the legend says. He still looks very refined, like a professor. Well, Qian was also forced by life at the beginning. If he wasn't ruthless, he wouldn't have survived. Now he is just being his true self. Chapter 20 Donghu Hotel. Back home, Yilin dragged Jie's parents into boasting about her golfing, and her exaggerated expressions made her parents laugh. Dad and Mom, guess who I met today? It's Qian Zhongwen, the legendary big shot. Ye's mother looked at Yifeng nervously and asked, Xiaofeng, the friend you met today was Qian Zhongwen? How do you know him? You can't go astray. Yifeng gave Yilin a reproachful look and explained, Mom, I met brother Qian when I was buying a car. Now he's in the legitimate business, so don't worry. Yes, Mom, brother Qian was very amiable today, just as gentle and refined as a professor. He's not at all as scary as people say, Yilin also helped to explain. Seeing that both her children said so, Ye's mother also knew that she had been worrying for nothing. Her children had grown up and had their own ideas, and they would have to walk their own paths in the future. Seeing that it was almost time, Yifeng set off for the East Lake Hotel. The journey was uneventful, and after parking the car, a young man came up to Yifeng, his eyes shining as he stared at Yifeng's car. Brother, this is an Aston Martin 177, isn't it? It's so cool. There are only 5 of these cars in the country. Brother, can I take a photo? Looking at the young man, who was so familiar, Yifeng generously threw him the keys. Meeting is fate. Get in and take some pictures. You can even drive it for a while. The young man took the keys, thanked him repeatedly, took some pictures in the car, and then started the car and drove around the neighborhood. Brother, aren't you afraid that I'll drive off? I'll be honest, the performance of this car is fantastic. Let's get acquainted. My name is Zhao Peng, from Kyoto. Looking at the confidence exuding from Zhao Peng, Yifeng sensed that Zhao Peng must be someone important. Yifeng, from Tianjin. Brother Feng, I'll be going now. When you have time, come to Kyoto and I'll treat you to a big meal. With Zhao Peng's departure, Yifeng also entered the hotel. Zhang Jiwei, who was in the private room, smiled heartily when he saw Yifeng appear and said, You're late, so you have to drink a toast. Shen Zhongwen, who was sitting next to him, also started to make a scene, saying, 1 glass is not enough, you have to drink 3 glasses. Today I have brought 2 bottles of 1976 Wuxing Maotai. You have to drink a lot, my friend. Yifeng did not dampen the mood and directly agreed. After the 3 of them were seated, the waiter also started to serve the food. Yifeng filled a glass of wine, stood up, and said to the 2 of them, My 2 brothers, I was late today, so I will punish myself with 1 glass. I will drink it first. Good. Yi is indeed a quick-witted person. Today, I thank Lao Qian and Yi. If not, I would have to sell this land at a loss. Without further ado, if Zhang Jiwei is useful in the future, I will never refuse. Bottoms up. After 2 drinks, Yifeng quickly took a bite of food to suppress his discomfort. This was the first time he had drunk so much white wine. The 2 men saw Yifeng's discomfort and slowed down their drinking pace. Brother Yi, I heard from Lao Qian that you will be returning to the demon capital soon. I heard that the Fang and Shen families, one of the 4 families in the demon capital, have started fighting again. This time, it's quite big. Do you have any news? Upon hearing Zhang Jiwei's words, Yifeng knew that Shen Haoran had begun to take action, but he didn't say whether the talented girl Shen Haoyue had intervened. Brother Zhang, this time it was the Shen family that started the retaliation. The Shen family received a sum of financial support, and with Shen Haoyue, the Fang family will definitely lose a large piece of flesh this time. I didn't expect the Shen family to be able to pull in a sum of money, but the Fang family is powerful. I think if the Shen family cannot receive further investment, it is likely that they will be eaten by the Fang family. Zhang Jiwei has been in the business world for many years and is very knowledgeable about business warfare, but he still doesn't think highly of the Shen family. Zhang Gu, don't worry, the Shen family can't lose. At worst, I'll invest in Shen Haoran, and I'm also curious what Shen Haoyue can do to defeat the Fang family. So it was you, Yi, who did this. The Fang family won't have an easy time this time, but they still need to be careful about Fang's revenge on you. I say you too, on such a beautiful day, instead of drinking and composing poetry, what are you discussing about the Fang and Shen families? Come, cheers, Shen Zhongwen said, raising his glass and taking a drink. The 2 men also drank directly from the glass. Yifeng was also feeling a little tipsy at this time and looked at the 2 older brothers with their ever-changing expressions and was very impressed. Xian Gu, can you reserve a banquet hall for me at the Donghu Hotel the day after tomorrow? My younger sister is having a college entrance celebration. Xian Zhongwen laughed and said, It's a piece of cake. Don't worry, brother, I'll definitely arrange it for you. Then thank you very much, Xian Gu. The 3 men drank for a while longer, and Yifeng became completely drunk. Seeing this, Shen Zhongwen directly arranged for him to stay at the Donghu Hotel. At the table, Zhang Jiwei looked at Qian Zhongwen and asked, Lao Qian, this Yi guy is no simple person. A conservative estimate of his assets is no less than 20 billion huaxia currency, and that's just the cash flow. He's a bit immature, but he'll definitely be a dragon among men in the future. Yes, I also like this about him, that's why I befriended him. You, on the other hand, just met him and already got an investment. Lao Qian, I've also investigated Brother Yi. His parents are ordinary people, and he was just an ordinary student before. But suddenly in the past half month, he has become incredibly wealthy. All this money came from overseas. Brother Ye's identity is not simple. Shen Zhongwen stared at Zhang Jiwei with a serious expression and said, Zhang, let me remind you, don't pry into other people's secrets too much, or you'll easily invite disaster. With Yi, you just need to get along well with him and don't get any ideas. The reason he befriended us is because he needs to look after his family, so just do that. Lao Qian, you really understand, I'm humbled. I'll drink to that. Zhang Jiwei raised his glass and drained it in one go. The 2 men chatted for a while and both stayed at the Donghu Hotel. The morning sun shone on Yifeng's face as he slowly opened his eyes. A headache came over him, and he felt weak. He shook his head helplessly. Yi Feng tried to remember what had happened last night, but his memory was as blurry as if it had been washed away by alcohol. He struggled to get to the bathroom, looked at his pale face in the mirror, and couldn't help but smile bitterly. He washed his face with cold water to wake himself up a little. After drinking a bottle of water, he went back to bed, picked up his phone and spoke to his mother for a while before falling back asleep. In the Yi family home, Ye's mother was complaining about her son, while Yi Lin was happily packing her things. When she arrived home yesterday, she immediately started arguing about moving to the East Lake Villa. Unable to do anything about it, Ye's parents had no choice but to agree, and decided to pack up and move in the morning. "Mom, tomorrow is my graduation banquet, have you decided where to go?" "You little girl, your brother just said he's already booked the Donghu Hotel for you, so you must be happy. Your brother just spoils you too much. Hurry up and pack, I still need to notify the relatives of the address of the graduation banquet tomorrow." Chapter 21 Moving. Looking at the packed things, Ye's mother had a headache. She had originally thought that there wasn't much, so she just asked Ye's father to drive it away, but now there were big and small packages, especially Ye's father's pile of flowers and plants, which made Ye's mother want to hit someone. In the end, in order to avoid being affected herself, Yi Lin found a moving company online. Before long, the moving company arrived and carried the packed boxes down the stairs one by one, while Ye's mother greeted the neighbors downstairs. "Meiwan, are you moving?" "Yes, Xiaofeng has made some money and insists on getting me a bigger house, no matter what I say." "Sigh, kids these days really don't listen, and I don't know if they'll save up to get a daughter-in-law." Ye's mother grumbled, but she couldn't hide the proud expression on her face. "Your children are filial, so just be happy. Your family has produced 2 famous university graduates, so you will enjoy a good life in the future. As long as my children are doing well on their own, I'll stop here. Sister Olji is looking after me, so come visit us sometime." She left the house she had lived in for half her life to the envious stares of the crowd. Arriving at the East Lake Villa, Ye's mother directed the movers to put the things in the living room, while Ye's father arranged his flowers and plants in the yard. Then they sat in the pavilion in the yard, admiring the flowers and plants, feeling very content. They would invite some old friends over, have a pot of tea, and enjoy the flowers while sipping tea. Yi Mu's shout interrupted his thoughts, and he had no choice but to get up and return to the villa. Seeing Yi Fu come back, Yi Mu said, "Yi Fu, you hurry up and move the clothes to the second floor, and then you can take care of your flowers after you're done." Yi Lin, on the other hand, selected a room on the 3rd floor, put the dolls she brought with her on the bed, and placed her own photos by the bed. After she was done, she lay on the soft bed and laughed out loud from time to time. Near noon, Yi Feng woke up again. Feeling better, he got up and washed up. Driving away from the Donghu Hotel, he passed by a residential area and Yi Feng's eyes lit up. He spotted a breakfast truck. He hadn't had pancakes in a long time and was really craving them. Getting out of the car, he went up to the truck and said to a woman in her 40s, "Excuse me, can I get a set of pancakes and a bag of breakfast milk?" The woman expertly spread the pancakes. In a short while, Yi Feng returned to the car with the finished pancakes, paid 10 yuan by scanning the QR code, and then got back in the car. Smelling the familiar smell, he took a bite with a full face of enjoyment. Not bad, it's still the taste of his memories. After being away for so long, he still wanted to eat this. After quickly finishing eating, Yi Feng also drove to Donghu Villa, not knowing if his parents had finished cleaning up. When he arrived at the villa, Yi Feng's father was tending to his flowers. Seeing this, Yi Feng joked, "Dad, why don't I buy you a plot of land and you can set up a flower base and have some fun? As the saying goes, those who know are not as good as those who like it, and those who like it are not as happy as those who enjoy it. Dad, you can do it well." Yi Feng's father's eyes lit up, but then they dimmed again. "I'm getting old, I'm not going to bother anymore, I'll just grow some flowers in the yard." Seeing the change in his father's expression, Yi Feng knew that he was moved. It seemed that he had to prepare a surprise for his father. Yi Feng's mother, who was watching TV in the living room, saw him come in and quickly greeted him. "Xiaofeng, you're away from home, and I don't object to you drinking, but you must drink in moderation, otherwise it will be bad if something goes wrong. And you must not drive after drinking." "Don't worry, Mom, I know the right amount to drink." "Mom, I want to hire 2 nannies, one to clean and one to cook. What do you think?" Yi Feng's mother knew that her son was just being considerate, but she felt that she was still healthy, so she refused, saying, "Son, I'm still healthy, so I don't need a nanny yet. When I get old and can't do anything anymore, then you can look for one. You're almost done with school, so hurry up and get married and give me a grandchild." Yi Feng's mind flashed back to Li Xiaona's figure. His mother would definitely like her, and Yi Lin would probably become best friends with her. Yi Feng's mother also gave him a look that confirmed what she thought. Before she could ask, Yi Feng fled. Yi Lin heard footsteps and just opened the door to see him rushing up the stairs. She asked with a puzzled expression, "Brother, what's wrong? Did mom hit you?" "No, if she did, she would have hit me." Hearing Yi Lin's question, Yi Feng said impatiently, "What are you talking about? How could mom hit anyone? I'll buy you some clothes for the graduation banquet tomorrow." Hearing his words, Yi Lin was overcome with a rush of flattery and urged him to hurry up and set off. The two siblings drove to Yansha town. This place was different from the average shopping mall in that each brand had an independent European-style storefront, and each storefront connected together formed a small town. Each area here was clearly divided, so you could clearly go to the area you needed. Coupled with the seats that could be seen everywhere, it was practically a boon for men. Yi Feng directly dragged Yi Lin to the clothing area. He didn't want to accompany his sister and look around the entire town. "Girl, do you have a favorite brand? I don't want to go in and look at them all." Yi Lin thought about it for a moment and said coquettishly, "Brother, I don't know which brand to choose either, so just accompany me and look around." Helplessly, Yi Feng could only become a tool to accompany her. The two arrived at Prada. The shop assistant was not too enthusiastic at first when he saw Yi Lin, but immediately came up to them warmly when he saw Yi Feng entering afterwards. As a shop assistant in a luxury goods store, he had a good eye and could tell at a glance that Yi Feng's Armani was very expensive. "This gentleman and lady, welcome to Prada. If you need anything, just let me know, I will be happy to help." Yi Feng pointed at Yi Lin and said, "Help her try on some clothes." Then he found a place to sit down. Yi Lin was also dazzled at this time. She felt that every piece was very beautiful. Just when she didn't know how to choose, the clerk introduced in a timely manner, "Miss, the one you are looking at is this year's new spring suit. This suit matches you very well, youthful and energetic, especially with your very fair skin tone. It will definitely look perfect with it. You can try it and see how it looks." After a while, Yi Lin tried on 3 outfits. She liked all 3, but when she didn't know how to choose, a woman who looked like a student came into the store. She was surprised to see Yi Lin there. "Yi Lin? What are you doing here?" Looking at the person approaching, Yi Lin frowned. The person approaching was her classmate Zhang Guoguo. The two did not get along well, and Yi Lin was also very puzzled as to why this Zhang Guoguo always compared her, whether it was in studies, dressing up, or even making friends. If she could not compare favorably, she would spread rumors to slander herself. Chapter 22 Buying clothes for Yi Lin. "I came with my brother to buy clothes, is that not allowed?" Yi Lin said in a bad mood. "Brother? Lover, I heard that your brother hasn't even graduated yet, and he can afford to buy you Prada? I heard that a few days ago you were still showing off the Patek Philippe watch in your circle of friends, and I thought you found the picture from somewhere to fake it. It seems that this lover also gave it to you." I never thought that Yi Lin, who was excellent in both character and studies in our class, would also be supported by someone. Hearing that Yi Lin had been so vilified, Yi Feng slapped Zhang Guoguo in the face, looked at her coldly and said, "Apologize." Covering her swollen and painful face, Zhang Guoguo was full of disbelief. She had actually been hit. From childhood to adulthood, not even her parents had hit her. Today, she actually got slapped because of Yi Lin. Looking at Yi Feng with hatred, she said, "How dare you hit me? Do you know who my godfather is? You just wait." She then picked up her phone and made a call before bursting into tears. Yi Lin looked at Yi Feng with some concern and said, "Brother, let's just leave, don't bother with this crazy woman." Yi Feng shook his head, knowing that if he didn't teach Zhang Guoguo a lesson today, she would definitely take revenge on Yi Lin in the future. He couldn't stay by Yi Lin's side forever, and if she was hurt because of this, he would blame himself for the rest of his life. Soon after, a pot-bellied middle-aged man came over to Zhang Guoguo and said a few comforting words before shouting, "Who's got the guts to hit my goddaughter Chen Tai? If you've got some balls, step forward." Yi Feng walked up to Chen Tai and said coldly, "I did it, what's the problem?" "I? Yi Xiao? Why are you here?" Seeing the appearance of the person, Chen Tai was shocked and cold sweat broke out. How had this bitch Zhang Guoguo offended this master? This was the master who called Master Qian his brother. "Do you know me?" Yi Feng asked in confusion. He had never seen the person in front of him before. "Yi Xiao, I am the general manager of Donghu Hotel. Yesterday, you and Master Qian got drunk after dinner, and I was the one who sent you to rest. Don't you remember? Chen Tai said carefully, afraid of offending Yifeng. He had a blackout yesterday and has no recollection of how he went to rest afterwards. Tell me, how should this be resolved? Although Chen Tai knew himself, he still wanted to teach Zhang Guogui a lesson. Zhang Guogui, come here and apologize to Yi Xiao. Chen Tai did not dare to defend this goddaughter anymore, he did not want to end up with her. At this point, Zhang Guogui was already scared silly. He knew who Chen Tai was referring to when he mentioned the money master, and quickly knelt down to apologize. Yi Xiao, Lin, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have slandered you guys, I'm not a thing, I'm not a person, Zhang Guogui apologized while getting slapped in the face. Looking at Zhang Guogui, who was begging for mercy, Yifeng also lost interest and waved his hand, telling Chen Tai to take her away. Chen Tai felt like he had been pardoned and led Zhang Guogui away in disgrace. At this time, the shop assistants also nervously looked at Yifeng, fearing that they had done something to make him unhappy. After all, they were friends of Master Qian and they could not afford to offend him. Seeing this situation, Yifeng also lost interest in shopping. He asked the shop assistant to pick out 2 of the latest handbags and pack them together with the 3 sets of clothes that Yilin had tried on before. After paying, he left with Yilin. Brother, that was so satisfying just now. Zhang Guogui always picks on me at school, but this time I'll see if she dares to spread rumors in the future. Looking at the smug Yilin, Yifeng rubbed her head and said, okay, she definitely won't dare in the future. Remember to tell me in the future, and I'll take care of it for you. On the other side, Chen Tai stared at Zhang Guogui fiercely, as if he wanted to eat her. This idiot almost made him offend Yifeng, and she was really more trouble than she was worth. Zhang Guogui, if you want to die, don't drag me with you. If you ever dare to offend Yi Xiao or Miss Yi again, I'll sell you to Burma. Zhang Guogui was also scared at this point. She couldn't understand why. Yilin was an ordinary person, and Yifeng was also a student. How could they be on such good terms with a big shot like Qian Yi? She had offended Yilin before, so would she be retaliated against? Fear filled her body. Leaving Prada, the brother and sister were preparing to go home when a dessert cart caught Lin's attention. Brother, I want to eat egg waffles. Can you buy them for me? You little girl, just go buy them if you want. You don't lack money. No, brother, it's better if you buy them for me. Lin said coquettishly. Hearing his sister's words, Yifeng had no choice but to take her to the dessert cart. Boss, 1 strawberry-flavored egg puff, 1 order of octopus balls, and 2 cups of lemon black tea. Okay, young lady, there are 2 more egg puffs in front of you. You can rest for a while at the table and chairs next to you. I'll call you when they're ready. There were 4 sets of simple plastic tables and chairs next to the dessert cart. The 2 of them found an empty seat and sat down. Brother, how are things with your girlfriend Mengyu? We've already broken up. What? You broke up? Brother, don't be sad. I think you two should have broken up a long time ago. Although I haven't met her in person, from your photos and the way you two get along, I think she doesn't like you. She just sees you as a spare tire, one that can be discarded at any time. Yifeng sighed. Even his own sister could see it, so how could he have been so blind at the time, mistaking indifference for a test? Brother, don't sigh. You're so handsome. I'll introduce you to a few girls. Your sister has a lot of pretty girlfriends. Young lady, your food is ready. Hearing the boss's words, Yifeng quickly got up to get it. He didn't want to hear his sister say any more. After scanning the QR code to pay and getting the food and placing it on the table, Yifeng quickly said, "Stop, don't say anymore, I have a new girlfriend." Upon hearing this, Yilin's eyes grew brighter and brighter as she was about to continue pressing for more information when a weak voice interrupted her. A cute-looking little girl about 6 or 7 years old stood next to her and said, "Big sister, I want to eat egg puffs." Seeing the little girl's cute appearance, Yilin immediately felt sympathy for her, filling her mind with a bunch of images of abandoned children, and then handed the egg puffs to the little girl, telling her to eat slowly and to buy her more if she didn't have enough. Yilin turned her head and whispered, "Brother, do you think this little girl has been abandoned? She's so pitiful, let's take her home." Yifeng looked at her like she was crazy. Her imagination was too rich. Look at the little girl's clothes, although they're not from a big brand, they're very clean and tidy, which shows that her parents love her very much. And look at the way she eats, taking small bites, which shows that she has good manners and doesn't look like she hasn't eaten in a long time. She should have just gotten separated from her parents not long ago. Chapter 23 The Lost Nyo-Nyo. Yi Lin nodded in agreement and smiled awkwardly. Brother, you really do pay close attention. I didn't even notice. Turning her head to look at the little girl, she put on what she thought was a gentle expression and said, Little girl, what's your name? Why are you here alone? The little girl also stopped what she was doing and looked at Yi Lin, as if she was trying to determine if she was a bad person. She then glanced at the egg waffle in her hand as if making up her mind. Sister, my name is Nyo-Nyo. I came here with my dad today, and he just got a phone call. I was waiting for him nearby while playing, and then I saw these egg puffs here and came over. Nyo-Nyo seemed to have come to her senses when she said this, and let out a cry. I've lost my dad. I've lost my dad. How am I going to explain to Da Huan when I get back? Da Huan loves my dad the most. Yi Lin asked doubtfully, Nyo-Nyo, who is Da Huang? Your grandfather? No, Da Huang is my dog, super cute, Nyo-Nyo said seriously. Yi Lin couldn't hold back her laughter anymore, and the child's way of thinking was really not something an ordinary person could think of. Nyo-Nyo, can I help you find your father? Yes, thank you, sister. You are really beautiful and kind. Da Huang and I will thank you. Oh, Nyo-Nyo is such an honest child, I really like you. Listening to the two of them talk, Yi Feng suppressed a smile. Her younger sister was like a child, a real joy. Nyo-Nyo, where did you lose your father? Yi Feng asked gently. Nyo-Nyo lowered her head and thought for a moment. Big brother, I know there was a big mouse and a big drum next to it. I was playing over there when a brother was playing the drum. I got scared and ran, and then I couldn't find my way back. Yi Feng thought about it for a moment, but didn't really remember. He went over to the floor plan of the nearby Lufthansa town and looked at it carefully. It should be in the square between the clothing area and the food area. Besides, the town service center was also there, so they could ask the staff for help. Little sister, let's go to the square and help Nyo-Nyo find her father. Nyo-Nyo must have gotten lost from there. Yi Lin took Nyo-Nyo by the hand and followed Yi Feng to the small square. Sister, this is the place, this is the Mickey Mouse. I was just playing here. The three of them began to look around, from the nearby shops to the toilets, but they did not find Nyo-Nyo's father. Nyo-Nyo's eyes gradually began to turn red, with tears welling up in her eyes, about to fall out. The sight of her made the brother and sister feel very distressed. Nyo-Nyo, don't cry, I have an idea. Big brother, what else can you do? Daddy is lost, will he be hungry? Will he be angry with Nyo-Nyo? Nyo-Nyo shouldn't have wandered off, oh no. Nyo-Nyo, don't cry, let's get more people to help you find your daddy, okay? Seeing that Nyo-Nyo had gradually stopped crying, the brother and sister took her to the service center of Lufthansa town, found the staff and explained the situation. The staff took the matter seriously, comforted Nyo-Nyo a little, and then used the intercom to contact the town's broadcasting system. The staff told Nyo-Nyo that they would broadcast a message to find her father. Soon the message of looking for Nyo-Nyo's father was broadcast throughout the town. Soon after, a man in his 30s wearing a blue shirt and black trousers hurried over. When he saw Nyo-Nyo, he looked relieved. She quickly walked over to Nyo-Nyo and hugged her tightly. Nyo-Nyo, I'm sorry, it's Daddy's fault. I didn't realize you were gone. I really should be dead. Forgive Daddy, okay? Nyo-Nyo was also full of emotion. In her heart, which was different from that of a normal child, she was surrounded by love. Maybe it was deliberate love, maybe it was true love, but none of that mattered. Dad, Nyo-Nyo lost you. Dad's not crying. Nyo-Nyo found you back, didn't she? If Dad were lost, not only would Nyo-Nyo be sad, but Da Huan would be sad too. Seeing Nyo-Nyo's father hugging her tightly, Yi Feng was also moved. A man in his 30s, with white hair sprouting from the temples, perhaps this is also a man with a story. Dad, it was the big brother and the pretty sister who helped me find you. They were so good to Nyo-Nyo, not only did they give Nyo-Nyo egg puffs to eat, they also helped Nyo-Nyo find her dad. Nyo-Nyo really likes them. The man came to the brother and sister, bowed deeply, and said solemnly, Thank you for helping me find Nyo-Nyo. Yi Wuhan has nothing to repay you with, please accept Ye's bow. Yi Feng saw that Yi Wuhan was so serious, stopped his sister, who was about to stop him, and accepted the bow. Brother Yi, Yi Feng, cannot accept such a great gift. Nyo-Nyo also gets along with my brother and sister. Today is also due to fate. I wonder if Brother Yi has time, can we go somewhere and talk for a while? I can't repay you for your great kindness today, so I'll leave everything to you, Brother Yi. Yi Feng and the others went to the Donghu Hotel, where the hotel manager, Chen Tai, immediately went up to greet Yi Feng upon seeing him arrive. "Young Master Yi, you've come. I'm sorry for any inconvenience caused today. Please make yourself at home. I'll make the arrangements. Let this be my apology to you." Seeing that he was so humble, he knew that if he didn't accept today, he would definitely not be at ease. After all, it was unnecessary for Qian's men to hold on to something just because it was trivial. He said, "Manager Chen, what happened today is in the past. Today, my friends and I will just have a simple meal. Just arrange a private room for us." Chen Tai heard Yi Feng's words, and the stone in his heart also fell to the ground. He was just afraid that Yi Feng would not accept. "Don't worry, Yi Xiao, today Lao Chun I will definitely make the arrangements." The four of them went to the private room. Soon after they sat down, the dishes were served one after the other. Seeing the various top-class dishes on the table, Nyonyo's eyes sparkled. She had never seen so many ingredients before. Yi Wuwen looked embarrassed at this scene, while Yilin tactfully came over to Nyonyo's side. The two of them were having a great time eating. Looking at the reserved Yi Wuwen, Yi Feng said, "Brother Yi, shall we have a drink? I don't normally drink, but today I'm going to drink with you to show my gratitude for your kindness." As they toasted each other, their alcohol levels were rising, and Yi Feng asked the question on his mind. "Brother Yi, I have two questions that I'm not sure whether to ask or not." Yi Wuwen paused for a moment when he was picking up food on his chopsticks, and said slowly, "Brother, you want to ask why Nyonyo's mother and I tend to speak in archaic style, right?" Yi Feng nodded. After meeting Nyonyo today, he hadn't heard her mention her mother. All she had ever said was dad and da Huang. Besides, someone in his 30s like Yi Wuwen shouldn't speak like an ancient person. Although he didn't sound like a pedant, he did sound like someone who had stepped right out of history. Chapter 24 First Acquaintance with Martial Artists. Yi Wuwen opened his mouth after a long silence and said, "I wonder if Brother Yi has heard of martial artists?" Yi Feng shook his head, but at this time, a storm of emotion surged within him, as if a door had been opened, and the things inside were overturning his worldview of the past 20 years. "Brother Yi, do martial artists really exist? Why have I never heard of them?" Just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Families with martial arts traditions that have been passed down for hundreds of years are common, but they are just not well known. It's just like hundreds of years from now, when parrots and tigers have become extinct, and all that remains is a passage in a book. In China there was a bird with 7 colors, that spoke like a human. In the mountains there was a giant beast that looked like a cat, with the character for king on its head, and was as big as an ox, the lord of all beasts. Will people also think what is written in the book is false? Yi Feng nodded in agreement. He wouldn't believe it either. My wife and I were martial artists. During a conflict, she was seriously injured and left us forever. I later faded out of the martial artist circle and have been raising Nyonyo ever since. At this moment, Yi Feng was saddened by his unfortunate encounter, but he was also attracted by the word martial artist. He had had a dream of being a martial artist since he was young, carrying a 3-foot sword and traveling the world with it. "Brother Yi, can you tell me about the ranks of martial artists? If it's inconvenient, it's fine." Yi Wuhan looked at him solemnly. He had already said a lot today and didn't care to say more. Martial artists are simply divided into 4 realms: external strength, internal strength, acquired and innate. Acquired is also called the master, and innate is called the grandmaster. The world of martial artists is far crueler than the normal world. Brother Yi, I advise you not to get involved. Yi Feng also calmed down. As an ordinary person, if he got involved in the world of martial artists, he would not have enough lives to spare even if he had 800 lives. It would be better to just keep his head down and work hard. Brother Yi, what kind of work are you doing now? Hey, I work as an investment manager at an investment company, but I was just notified today that I've been laid off, otherwise I wouldn't have even noticed that Nyonyo had disappeared. Hearing Yi Wuhan's words, Yi Feng immediately perked up. This is a martial artist, and he has been able to become an investment manager. His abilities must be quite good, and this is a rare talent. Brother Yi, I wonder if you are interested in working with me. I can give you 2 options. One is to be my full-time bodyguard, with an annual salary of 5 million huaxia currency. The other is that I plan to set up an investment company, which you will be in full charge of, with an annual salary of 5 million huaxia currency as well. You can think about it. You can rest assured about Nyonyo. I like her very much too. I can ask my parents to help take care of her, or hire someone to do it. Yi Wuhan was moved. His weak point was Ñoño. Previously, it was because of taking care of Ñoño that he had involved too much energy, which caused the boss's dissatisfaction and thus being laid off. However, he did not regret it, because his daughter was his whole hope. Brother Yi, I want to go to the investment company, but I have a request. I hope I can take Ñoño to work with me. I don't want to miss her growth, otherwise I will have to give up. Yi Feng thought he was asking for something else, but it turned out to be this, and he immediately agreed, and with a wave of his hand, transferred 20 billion Huaxia coins to Yi Wen. Brother Yi, you take this money first to set up a company and invest in projects, but I hope that you can acquire some companies as fully as possible. Before the system is upgraded, investments will not be refunded, but acquisitions are different. You can get a generous cashback and also speed up the system upgrade. Yi Wuhan was shocked beyond words when he saw the account information. 20 billion Huaxia currency, just like that, was transferred to himself? He wasn't afraid that he would run off with the money? After calming down a bit, he said seriously, "Thank you, Brother Yi, for your trust. I will definitely not fail in my mission. You can arrange the formation of the company on your own, Brother Yi. Don't worry about the funds. These 20 billion are just the first batch of funds. There will be more funding injections in the future." After discussing some details, the two saw that Ñoño was getting a little sleepy, so they stopped talking and ended the meal. Yi Feng had planned to let the two stay at the East Lake Hotel, but when they refused to see their parents, he didn't insist. He got a room for himself and Yi Lin and went to rest. After all, the entrance ceremony was also here tomorrow, so he wasn't going home. Lying in bed, Yi Feng looked at the ceiling and said softly, "System, you say that martial artists exist, so do the legendary gods and Buddhas of the sky also exist?" Host, no existence beyond this plane has been detected yet. After the system is upgraded, will the mall have items related to martial artists or cultivators? Host, the system mall has everything, there is nothing it doesn't have, there are countless top items from all planes in the mall. Please upgrade the system as soon as possible. Upon hearing this, Yi Feng became even more curious about the system mall that would be opened after the upgrade. It seems that he will have to work hard to get cash back. The next day, Yi Feng woke up with some doubts. Today, Yi Lin didn't come to call him at the graduation banquet. This was unlike her character. After washing up, he left the room with doubts. The waiter outside the door saw Yi Feng come out and immediately said, "Mr. Yi, Manager Chen asked me to inform you that the graduation banquet is arranged in the Chaoyang Hall. Miss Yi has already gone. Do you want to go now?" It turned out that Yi Lin had already gone. No wonder she didn't bother Yi Feng in the morning. He nodded at the waiter and followed him to the Chaoyang Hall. Inside the banquet hall, the soft lighting reflected off the carefully decorated surroundings. Ribbons and balloons hung from the walls, creating a festive atmosphere. There were 4 tables on each side, with exquisite tableware. At the front was a huge display screen, with a bright red couplet displayed on it. Upper line, a scholarly family nurtures outstanding talent. Lower line, a place at the top of the imperial examinations brings glory to the family. Horizontal scroll, academic success. Yi Feng nodded with satisfaction. It seems that Chen Tai is still very capable. At that moment, the phone rang. Yi Lin's voice came through after he answered it. "Brother, you're up already? Hurry down, the relatives will be here soon, and your parents are downstairs too. You're the only one missing." "Got it, I'll be right down." When he arrived downstairs, 2 buses had just arrived at the hotel entrance, and Yi Feng went up to greet them with his parents. Family and friends got off the bus one after the other, and the family of 4 greeted them warmly. At that moment, a mean voice came from one person. "Hey, Meiwan, I never thought that your family could afford to hold a graduation banquet at the Donghu Hotel. How much did it cost? You should be more down to earth. If you put on a brave face, you'll just be crying alone when it's all over." Yi Meijuan's mother was named Wang Meiwan. Yi Feng was the youngest among his siblings, with 2 older brothers and 3 older sisters. The one speaking was his sister-in-law Li Fingxia. Yi Meijuan's face was very ugly at this moment, but she still forced herself to hold back her anger and ushered them upstairs. Chapter 25, The Graduation Banquet. Yi Feng frowned. He had never liked his great-aunt since he was a child. She was a mean, snobbish woman who always talked about other people to make herself feel better. "Xiao Feng, I didn't expect you to come. Back too. You're about to graduate. Are you planning to come back or stay in the Magic City to develop?" The one speaking was Yi Feng's eldest uncle's eldest brother, Yi Chang. Yi Feng's father has 6 siblings, and Yi Feng is the 4th child. Yi Feng's paternal grandfather is Yi Yuanshan, Yi Feng's maternal grandfather is Yi Yuanna, Yi Feng's great-grandfather is Yi Yuanhu, Yi Feng's father is Yi Yuanhai, Yi Feng's great-great-grandfather is Yi Yuanqing, and Yi Feng's aunt is Yi Mo. Unlike Yi Feng's maternal side of the family, Yi Feng's paternal side of the family has always had a very close relationship, with no conflicts, but instead, they are very close. Big brother, I just happened to be free, so I came back. After Xiaolin's graduation banquet, I plan to go back, and I plan to develop my career in the Magic City in the future. 4th brother, I haven't seen you for more than half a year, and you've become even more handsome. He. Yi Feng looked at the person approaching, and realized that it was Yi Ting, the sister of the old man. This little girl may seem gentle, but if someone annoys her, she will really chase them home with a brick. Ting, when did your brother stop being handsome? Let's not chat in the doorway, let's go upstairs. Seeing that everyone was going upstairs one after the other, the 3 of them also went to the Chaoyang Hall. There was an extra small table and a hotel staff member at the door. It was supposed to be someone arranged by the hotel to collect gifts. Originally, Yi Feng had transferred 20 million to Yilin, so Yilin didn't plan to collect gifts for this graduation banquet, but she reluctantly agreed after being persuaded by her relatives. At this time, everyone in the hall had already taken their seats, and the host on the stage was praising Yilin's hard work and study. Yi Feng felt embarrassed listening to it, while Yilin was listening with a smug expression. After a long wait, the host finally finished speaking, and the waiters promptly served a variety of delicacies to each table. At this time, Yi Wuhan and Nyonyo also entered the hall. Yilin quickly ran over, took Nyonyo's hand, and led her to the reserved table. She then said to Yi Feng, brother, I've invited Nyonyo. Let's sit at this table and eat with brother Yi and Nyonyo. Yi Feng's mother, Li Fengxia, was jealous of the fine wine and food on the table. Why was Wang Meiwan making such a big deal of it? Oh, Meiwan, I heard that you moved house. Did you sell the house? You should have just found a more modest place if you didn't have the money. There's no need to sell the house. Look at this table, it must have cost at least 10,000 yuan. Look at the wine, it's still Mao Tai. We all know each other. It's just a university degree. Nowadays, even university graduates can't find a job. What's the point? Unlike my husband, Wang Jiadong, who didn't go to university, but is doing well for himself. He's doing the interior decoration for Yuanda Group and makes millions a year. Oh, waiter, how much is the food on this table? I'll arrange a few tables someday to talk about the wedding with Jiadong's girlfriend at her house. Yuans can come too, after all, you rarely have the chance to eat at a hotel of this class. Madam, the price of this table, not including drinks, is 88,888 huaxia currency. If you want to book it, you can pay a deposit first and I'll make the reservation for you in advance. The people at the table looked at Yi Mu incredulously. This graduation banquet should cost 800,000 huaxia currency. Meiwan, you've gone crazy, spending so much money, did you really sell the house? You won't be able to live like this in the future. Big sister, don't worry, Xiaofeng made some money in the Magic City, he arranged this graduation banquet, neither Ying nor I paid for it, and we didn't sell the old house, instead Xiaofeng bought us a new one. How is that possible? How can a student who hasn't even graduated afford to buy a house and throw such an expensive graduation banquet? He must have gone astray. I've heard that many students are brainwashed after graduation and join pyramid schemes. You have to be careful. Maybe he'll come and persuade us to buy products and make investments, and then run off with the money. Li Fengxia spoke with conviction, as if she had seen it with her own eyes. In her eyes, no one could get rich but her son Wang Jiadong. Ye's mother's face also turned cold. She didn't want to argue with her sister-in-law, but she was pushing her luck. Just as she was about to explode, the door was pushed open and 2 middle-aged men walked in, one carrying a suitcase. The men were Qian Zhengwen and Zhang Jiwei. Yi, we're not too late, are we? Ha, it's all Zhang's fault, he made me wait for him. Otherwise, we would have been here a long time ago. Xiangu, Zhanggu, come and sit down, it's just that our table hasn't started yet, Yi Feng also greeted them. Yi, wait a moment, let's pay the gift money first, you mustn't refuse, it's the etiquette, otherwise we too won't be able to join the table. The two opened the suitcase and placed it on the table, a suitcase full of money appeared in front of everyone. Zhang Jiwei, chairman of Yuanda Group, gave 888,888 yuan in gifts, and Shen Zhongwen, chairman of Fuyu Group, gave 888,888 yuan in gifts. Hearing the names of the two men, the guests were shocked. These were two big shots in Tianjin, especially Qian Zhongwen, whose reputation was well known. Brother Qian, brother Zhang, you have given me great face by coming, and you have also given so many gifts. Come and sit down, as I also have something to say to you. Li Fengxia, who was standing nearby, was also extremely frightened. She had offended Ye's mother many times, so she forced a difficult smile on her face and said to her in a flattering manner, Meiwan, I didn't realize that Xiaofeng was so capable. Just now, I spoke without thinking. Please don't be offended. I saw that Xiaofeng has a good relationship with Mr. Zhang of Yuanda Group. Could you please say something good about Jiadong? After all, he is your own nephew. Ye's mother ate her food without saying a word to Li Fengxia. She knew this woman too well. Even if she did help, Li Fengxia would still curse her behind her back. It was better not to help. On the other side of the table, Yi Lin greeted Qian and Zhang politely before eating with Niu Niu. Qian, Zhang, I plan to set up an investment company, and the person in charge will be Yi Wuwen, the one next to me. I need your help. At this time, Qian Zhongwen glanced over at Yi Wuwen. The two men exchanged glances, and Qian Zhongwen felt a tremor in his body. Fine beads of sweat appeared on his forehead instantly. He knew that Yi Wuwen, who was sitting across from him, was no ordinary person. He was most likely a martial artist of no low rank. This Yi guy is really something. Brother Wuhan, I'm Qian Zhongwen. In the future, if you need any help, just let me know. I, Qian, will definitely not hesitate. Zhang Jiwei looked at Qian Zhongwen in puzzlement. When had old Qian become so talkative? And to someone he had just met for the first time. Mr. Qian seems to be a like-minded person. You don't need to be nervous. I have distanced myself from that circle. Now I am just an ordinary person. Chapter 26 The temperamental Li Fengxia. Yi Feng could tell from the two men's conversation that Qian should also be a martial artist, but his strength should not be as strong as Yi Wuhan. Brother Qian, do you have any office buildings for sale? I plan to buy one for my investment company, Yi Feng asked. Qian Zhongwen then looked at Zhang Jiwei and asked, Lao Zhang, haven't you always wanted to sell the Jinhui building? What do you say? Why don't you just sell it directly to Brother Yi? Sure, if Brother Yi is interested, I'll pass it on to you. There's no use for me to keep the Jinhui building. Brother Yi, then you can liaise with Brother Zhang when you come back, and don't let him lose out. Brother Zhang has done us a big favor, Yi Feng said. He didn't lack money, and he couldn't hold down the price for the sake of the system cashback. Yi Feng immediately stood up and introduced, Brother Qian, Brother Zhang, this is my parents, Yi Yuanhai and Wang Meiwan. Parents, this is President Qian and President Zhang. Mr. Qian, Mr. Zhang, thank you for taking the time to attend my daughter's entrance ceremony and for the generous gift. My wife and I would like to toast you. The couple then drank in one go. Qian Zhongwen and Zhang Jiwei also got up and toasted, smiling, we are the ones who have caused trouble. Please don't be offended, Brother Yi and sister-in-law. We also have a connection with Yi Lin and Yi Lin. Lin Yi overheard their conversation and muttered, Brother Qian and Brother Zhang are calling dad and mom, brother and sister-in-law, and they are calling me and my brother, and younger sister, so we can't call mom and dad, we have to call brother and sister-in-law. Yi Feng gave Lin Yi a dirty look. This little girl's mind is thinking about nothing day after day. No wonder mom always scolds her at home. After seeing the two of them sit down, Yi Feng apologized and then pulled Lin Yi along to toast with her parents. When the family arrived at Ye's table, Ye's father and mother first expressed their gratitude. After a drink, Yi Yuanshan, the eldest brother, said with emotion, Fourth son, in the blink of an eye, our children have all grown up. Even Lin Lin is going to university. We are all getting old. Yes, brother. We are all getting old. I remember when you were the eldest brother and you took me bird nesting. It's been 40 years in the blink of an eye. Yi Feng was also pulled over by his three brothers. Little Feng, I didn't realize it, you're quite a deep person, and you know such big shots, said Yi Chang, the eldest brother, patting him on the shoulder. Yes, this kid has always been like this since he was little, hiding everything. He shocks everyone at critical moments, added Yi Hua, the second eldest brother. This kid has a stubborn mouth. When he was little and got beaten, he never begged for mercy. If I hadn't happened to come across him, he would have kept fighting, said Yi Lin, the third eldest brother. Listening to the three brothers' complaints, Yi Feng was also full of helplessness. It wasn't that he didn't want to say anything, it was just that he had only just confessed. Seeing that Ye's father and mother were toasting the table, Yifeng quickly followed suit, otherwise he didn't know how long he would be complained about. The next few tables went very smoothly, except for the one at Grandma's house, where things happened as expected. Just as Ye's father and mother had finished thanking them, Ye's eldest aunt Li Fengxia jumped out. Xiaofeng, I see that you are very familiar with Mr. Zhang of Yuanda Group. Your cousin Dong is doing the interior decoration for a Yuanda property. Why don't you say something nice to thank him and get him to give your cousin more work? That would be more practical than just saying a few nice words of thanks. At this point, Ye's mother's face had turned black. She couldn't bear it anymore and pointed at him, saying, Li Fengxia, do you have any shame? You just won't stop, will you? You've been shooting your mouth off since you arrived, thanking people? What do you have to be thankful for? If it weren't for the sake of my late elder brother, I wouldn't even bother to talk to you, gossiping about everyone's business every day. If you don't want to come, just take your money and get out of here. Hearing this, Li Fengxia refused to take it anymore, and sat directly on the ground, throwing a tantrum, crying about how she had lost her husband early, and now her orphan mother and sister-in-law were bullying her. Seeing that everyone's attention had been drawn to her, Li Fengxia made even more of a scene. Yifeng's face was cold and he said with clenched teeth, Auntie, I advise you to leave now, or do you believe I can make sure your son can't get a single job at Yuanda Group, or even in the entire city of Tianjin? Li Fengxia immediately stopped moving, patted her bottom, cursed, took back her gift money and walked away in disgrace. Looking at the people whispering, Yifeng's mother felt very ashamed and left early. Yifeng returned to his table. Xian Zhongwen glanced at him and said slowly with his head bowed, Do you want me to teach her a lesson or make her disappear? Yifeng shook his head and said, Don't bother Qiangu, I can handle this trivial matter. Besides, they are relatives, there is no need to kill them. Soon after, the guests left one after another. Xian Zhongwen arranged for the hotel's bus to take them back. Yifeng also took the hotel-arranged car and returned to Donghu Villa. When he entered the door, he saw that his mother's emotions had improved a lot as his aunts, uncles and other family members were there. Mom, are you feeling better? If you are still angry, I will teach her a lesson. Forget it, I won't hold it against you on your brother's behalf. Just don't contact him as much in the future, Ye's mother sighed, feeling sad every time she thought about her eldest brother. When they were young, he took good care of his siblings, working early to earn money to support his younger brothers and sisters. He suffered a lot in his life and passed away before he could enjoy his retirement. Thinking about this, Ye's mother continued, Xiaofeng, your cousin Dong's family is in need of help. After all, your uncle only has this one son. Yifeng nodded, as if he had agreed. At this time, Yifeng's cousin Wang Xiaoshui, the younger son of his uncle, ran down the stairs and rushed into Yifeng's arms when he saw him. Brother Feng, I haven't seen you for a long time. By the way, I saw a piano upstairs just now. Do you play it, cousin? Xiaoshui, I don't play it, but there is a good place you must not have discovered. I'll take you there. Yifeng took him to the basement level, which was divided into 3 areas. In the middle was a row of wine racks storing all kinds of famous domestic and foreign wines, and there were also various beers and cocktails in several refrigerated cabinets. On the left was a karaoke room that could accommodate about 10 people, fully equipped with all kinds of equipment, and the lighting and sound effects were top-notch. Every 3 months, someone would come to update and inspect it. On the right was a small movie theater that could accommodate 20 people, equipped with massage chairs inside for the most comfortable movie-watching experience. Yifeng took out 2 cans of Coke from the refrigerator and handed Xiaoshui one, saying, You can sing on the left and watch a movie on the right. Where do you want to go? After opening the Coke and taking a sip, Xiaoshui thought for a moment and said, Brother Feng, can I watch Big Bear first and then go sing a song? Yifeng laughed and said, You little smart aleck, you want to do both. Okay, I'll play Big Bear for you first. After you're done, remember to come find me upstairs. Chapter 27 Back at the villa. After playing Big Bear for Xiaoshui, Yifeng returned to the lobby. Seeing that Yifeng was alone, Ye's mother asked, Why are you back alone? Where's Xiaoshui? He's watching a movie downstairs. He'll come up to find me after he's finished. Is there a TV downstairs? Ye's mother asked doubtfully. Mom, haven't you been downstairs? The basement is not just a TV, it's a mini cinema, a karaoke bar and a wine cellar. You really should take a good look at this home. Hearing this, the family became excited and went downstairs one after the other. In a short while, Xiaoshui came back up with a sad face. It turned out that after this group of people went downstairs and saw the movie theater, they switched to a Chinese anti-Japanese war movie, and naturally Xiaoshui was forced to leave. Yi Feng's mouth twitched. What a bunch of old children. Helpless, Yifeng had to take him to the study on the third floor and play Big Bear on the computer for him. Congratulations to the host, after spending 2 billion Huaxia coins, 200 billion Huaxia coins have been returned and credited to the Supreme Black Card with the last digit 8888. The sudden system prompt made Yifeng flinch. After thinking about it carefully, he realized that it must have been after the graduation banquet, when Yi Wuhan had dragged Zhang Jiwei off to go through the formalities for the Jinhui building. This Yi Wuhan is really decisive. He picked up his phone and opened WeChat, found the namely Shauna, and messaged her, "Shauna, you haven't contacted me in the past 2 days, either. I wonder what you're busy with." "Shauna, have you been busy these past 2 days? Why didn't you think of me?" After sending the message, he received a reply shortly afterwards. "Brother Feng, I've been thinking about you every day, but you must have been home to take care of something important, so I didn't dare to disturb you. Hee, I'm very happy to receive your message today, because you were thinking about me too. Hee. Silly girl, just let me know if you're thinking about me. I'm almost done here, and I'll be going back in a couple of days. I'll treat you to a big meal when I get back." Brother Feng, I still want to eat at Fengming Pavilion. That's our lucky place. When I get back. Putting down the phone, he looked at the time and saw that it was almost time for dinner. His mother and the others had not yet come up, so he gave Chen Tai a call. "Chen, this is Yi Feng. Prepare a table of food for 20 people and deliver it to Villa 8 in Donghu. Yi Xiao, don't worry, I'll make the arrangements right away and make sure it's delivered within half an hour." At this point, Chen Tai's heart finally settled down. He had been worried that Yi Feng would retaliate against him, especially since Master Qian had personally attended today's banquet and had brought a generous gift. If Yi Feng had mentioned it casually, Chen Tai thought, he would probably already be on a train to Siberia digging for potatoes. After hanging up the phone, Chen Tai immediately arranged for the kitchen to prepare Yi Feng's meal as a priority. Then he personally drove 2 staff members to Villa 8. After posting a short video, the doorbell rang. Yi Feng opened the door and saw Chen Tai come in. He asked doubtfully, "Chen, why did you come in person? You could have just arranged for someone to deliver it." Chen Tai said as he directed the staff to put the food on the dining table on the first floor. "Yi Xiao, it's fine. It's my honor to serve you." Yi Feng knew what he meant, so he said, "Chen, the previous misunderstandings are in the past. I haven't held it against you, so you don't have to worry." "Thank you, Yi Xiao. I will definitely remember this lesson. I will not disturb you while you eat. Goodbye." Yi Feng looked at the food that had already been set out and shouted, "Xiaoshui, come down to eat." Then he went downstairs again and called his mother, aunt, and uncles up. Just as they were about to start eating, Yi Lin's voice came from outside the door. "Brother, come out for a moment. Dad has drunk too much and I can't hold him up anymore." Yi Feng hurriedly came out to take Yi's father, and asked, "Where did you go again?" "Hey, after the party was over, Dad insisted on going to his uncle's place. When they got there, they reminisced about the past. Brother, you have no idea. Dad told a lot of embarrassing stories. When he was little, Grandpa told Dad to scratch his back, but Dad actually crawled on the ground for a long time looking for it, and then asked Grandpa where his back was. Grandpa was so angry that he took a stick and beat Dad." Yi Feng almost laughed so hard he almost choked. He had no idea that his father had such a side when he was young. In order to avoid being laughed to death, he quickly sent Yi Lin to dinner, and he himself helped his father get into the elevator on the first floor and took him to his room on the second floor to rest. When he returned to the dining room, his mother asked, "How's your father? How much did he drink today?" "The old thing, he doesn't care how old he is, and he still drinks like this." "Mom, just stop talking. Dad is happy today, so just leave him alone. When he wakes up tomorrow, you can deal with him." Yi Lin, who likes to watch the fun, added fuel to the fire. After dinner, it was already dark outside, and it had started to drizzle. Ye's mother said to them, "Eldest sister, second sister, third sister, and brother, don't go home today. Stay here. There are still quite a few empty rooms upstairs, enough for all of us." Yi Feng also persuaded, "Yes, you don't often see my mother, so stay for the night. I'll turn on the karaoke machine, and you can have fun for a while. When you get tired, go upstairs and rest." After being persuaded by Yi Feng and Yi Feng in turn, the few people finally agreed to stay. Yi Feng took the others upstairs to assign rooms, while Yi Feng went downstairs to turn on the karaoke machine, cut a fruit plate, and took some drinks and returned to his room. After returning to his room, Yi Feng took out his phone and called Yi Wuhan. "Brother Wuhan, you were fast. You finished the Jinhui building deal so quickly. I saw that Lao Zhang didn't drink too much, so after we finished, I dragged him back to the company to finish the paperwork. By the way, is there anything you need to tell me?" "Well, there is one thing I need to take care of. There is a Jincheng flower base about 5 kilometers west of Donghu Resort. I don't know if you've heard of it?" "I have heard of it. It is said to be the largest flower planting base in Jincheng. Are you thinking of buying it, little brother? The price is not low. A conservative estimate would be 5 billion Huaxia currency. Brother Wuhan, I want to buy it and give it to my father. Money is not a problem. You can go ahead and buy it. I will transfer another sum of money to you later." "Okay, I will contact Lao Qian for a while. He knows people in this area well, and I will try to take it over as soon as possible." After hanging up the phone, Yi Feng transferred another 50 billion Huaxia currency to Yi Wuhan. Looking at the 230 billion Huaxia currency still quietly lying in his account, he couldn't help but sigh that the rate at which he was spending money was still too slow, and he still had to return more than 9 trillion Huaxia currency to be able to upgrade the system. With Yi Wuhan here in Tianjin, he himself seemed to have to return to the demon capital as soon as possible. He didn't know if that genius girl Shen Haoyue spent money quickly or not, and he had to find a way to recruit her under his own banner. Chapter 28 Tianjin Flower Base. At this time, a fumbling sound caught Yi Feng's attention. A thief broke into the house? No way, the security at Donghu Villa is not for show. Going downstairs, he saw Yi Feng's father fumbling around in the refrigerator. It looked like he was hungry and looking for food. No wonder he didn't eat dinner. After getting drunk, he must be hungry. Yi Feng quietly walked behind his father and gave him a sharp slap on the back. Yi Feng let out a long sigh of relief and said, "You little brat, you scared the hell out of me. I thought it was your mother. By the way, where is your mother? Has this old woman gone missing lately? She's not home so late." Yi Feng took out his phone and said to his father, "Dad, what did you just say? I didn't quite catch it." Looking at Yi Feng's actions, Yi Yuanhai also pretended to be stupid and said, "I said where your mother went, I miss her because she's not home." Yi Feng didn't tease him anymore when he saw his father like this. "Dad, my mom is downstairs singing with my uncles." "Singing? I didn't hear any sound. You brat is teasing me again, isn't he?" Helpless, Yi Feng had to take his father to the basement. When he saw the wine cellar and karaoke room downstairs, his father's eyes immediately lit up. "You brat, why didn't you tell me about such a great place earlier?" After saying this, he pushed the door open and joined them. Yi Feng looked helpless. "Didn't you even take a look when you moved in?" Early the next morning, Yi Wuhan took Nyonyo and went straight to the Jincheng flower base. Yesterday, Shen Zhongwen had already helped him make contact, and they had scheduled a meeting at 9 a.m. to discuss the details. After identifying himself to the guard, Yi Wuhan was taken to the meeting room. "Mr. Yi, welcome, please sit down. After I received Master Qian's call yesterday, I have been looking forward to your arrival." "I didn't expect that you were so young," Huang Jinchang said warmly. "Mr. Huang, let's not beat around the bush. Name your price for this flower base. Since Master Qian found you, I believe you won't be greedy." Huang Jinchang calculated the price yesterday. The entire base is worth 5.5 billion, but he still wants to bargain a bit. After all, no one wants to be enemies with money. "President Yi, I single-handedly built up the Jincheng flower base. To be honest, I really don't want to sell it, but since Master Qian found me, I have to give him face." "How about 6 billion Huaxia currency?" Huang Jinchang nervously looked at Yi Wuhan, afraid that if he asked for too much, he would make him unhappy. "President Huang, prepare the contract." Although the price was on the high side, it was still within a reasonable range, so Yi Wuhan agreed. After all, Yi Feng, the big spender, had said that he would do whatever it took to take over the flower base. "Congratulations, host, you have spent 6 billion Huaxia currency and received a cashback of 600 billion Huaxia currency, which has been credited to the Supreme Black Card with the last digit 8888. A system prompt woke Yi Feng from his sleep. Seeing this large cashback, Yi Feng immediately perked up. It seems that Yi Wuhan was the right choice. In just 2 days, he has already received 800 billion in cashback. At this time, his phone rang, and when he answered, he heard Yi Wuhan's voice. Brother Yi, the flower base in Tianjin has been secured, you can come and take over at any time, Uncle Yi. Brother Wu, your efficiency is too high, I'll transfer some funds to you, I'll be back in the demon capital tomorrow, so you can take care of Tianjin. After saying this, Yi Feng transferred another 100 billion huaxia coins, hoping that Ji Wuhan would spend the money quickly, so that there would be enough cashback for the system upgrade. Big brother Wuhan, I'll come over to check it out in a bit. He went downstairs to find his parents chatting with Yi Lin, and his relatives had already gone home. Dad, Mom, I'm planning to go back to the demon capital tomorrow. It's about time, your diploma should be coming out soon, it's time to go back, said Yi's mother. Brother, I want to go with you to the demon capital too, I want to see what the demon capital university is like, I'm so bored at home. Yi Lin looked at Yi Feng pitifully, while constantly looking at Yi's mother, as if seeking her opinion. Okay, stop pretending. Go ahead, but don't get your brother into trouble, Yi Mu said with a smile. Dad, let's go out for a while. I have something to tell you. Yi Feng's father left the house with a puzzled expression, and when he was about to ask where they were going, Yi Feng said, Dad, you drive and follow me. I'll take you to a nice place. The Jincheng flower base was not far from the Donghu villa, and the father and son arrived there in 10 minutes. When they arrived at their destination, Yi's father's eyes shone with excitement. As a veteran flower lover, he knew this place very well. Xiao Feng, are you buying flowers for me? You're my son, you know how to make your father happy. Big brother, Grandpa Yi, you're here, come over here, the flowers in here are so beautiful. Nyonyo ran over excitedly. Yi Feng crouched down and picked Nyonyo up, making her laugh. Hearing Nyonyo's laughter, Yi Wuhan also came out. Uncle Yi, Yi brother, come and visit our flower base. Yi Yuanhai was dumbfounded, our flower base? Then he thought of something and looked at Yi Feng excitedly. Dad, you will be in charge of this place from now on. Do you like this gift? I like it very much. Ha ha. After the excitement, Yi's father also calmed down. Xiaofeng, can I? Although I like to raise flowers and I do a good job of it, I'm afraid that if I do this on a large scale, I might not get it right and that would be a shame for all the flowers. Hearing Yi Feng's father's concerns, Yi Wuhan reassured him, Uncle Yi, don't worry, all the technicians here have been retained. There are dedicated personnel responsible for large-scale planting and maintenance. Hearing this, Yi Feng's father also felt relieved and accepted this huge gift with joy. He left them alone and ran off with Nyonyo to admire the flowers and plants here. Yi Feng looked at Ji Wuhan's attire and said helplessly, Brother Wuhan, I know you don't like to be on the receiving end of favors. How about I give you a raise? Let's say 20 million yuan a year, plus bonuses. You're now the boss of Huanyu Investment Company, and it's time you changed your attire. And you should also get rid of this old poor tea horse. Otherwise, people will think our company is not powerful. Get a secretary and an assistant to help you with some of the work and take care of Nyonyo for you. I'm not asking you, I'm giving you an order. Go do it this afternoon, and buy some clothes for Nyonyo too, just charge it to the company account. Brother Yi, really, you should know that martial artists like us don't care about these things. You're a martial artist, but Nyonyo isn't, right? You have to think about Nyonyo. She'll be going to school soon, and you don't want her to be looked down upon by her classmates, do you? Brother Wuhan, don't refuse, if you refuse, you're not treating me like a brother. Okay. In the end, Yi Wuhan could only agree. He could do it for himself, but for Nyonyo, he had to accept. But he would always remember this kindness. Chapter 29 Back to the Demon Capital. Yi Feng drove back alone, while Yi Feng's father stayed there, unwilling to leave this beautiful sea of flowers. He booked 2 tickets online to the demon capital, and Yi Feng pushed the door open and returned to the villa. Seeing several suitcases piled up in the hall, Yi Feng asked his mother, Mom, are we having relatives over? Why are there so many suitcases? His mother said in a bad mood, It's Lin who wants to go to the demon capital with you, and she's the one who wants to bring all these things. Yi Lin, who was hugging a large stuffed animal, came down from the elevator at that moment. She immediately said to Yi Feng, Brother, do you see if I have anything else to bring? This is the first time I'm leaving Jincheng, so I don't know if I've prepared enough. Yi Feng was also speechless. Looking at her, it was as if she was moving her entire family there. He walked over and gave Yi Lin a tap on the head and said, You girl, what are you bringing all this stuff for? I have everything over there. Put it all back. Just bring a change of clothes. Yi Lin looked at Yi Feng with a pained expression as she covered her head, and reluctantly sent the luggage back little by little. Lin is a girl who can only be controlled by you. Feng, when you get to the Magic City, you have to keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't get into trouble, Yifeng's mother instructed him. Don't worry, Mom, I'll be here to keep her in line. Don't be fooled by Lin's carefree nature, she actually has her own opinions and knows what's good for her, she just relies on her family a bit too much and can seem a bit naive. Homecoming is always a short time, especially after growing up, people are busy running around, but home can only be held in their hearts, guiding the way forward. Tianjin Airport. Amidst the reluctance of Yifeng's parents, Yifeng and his parents boarded the plane to the Devil Metropolis. Brother, this is the first time I've flown. I heard there's free food and drinks on the plane, hee, I'll definitely try some later. Yilin chattered on like a lark. What a coincidence, I didn't think I'd run into you again. A voice interrupted Yifeng's thoughts. Molly, I never thought I'd see you again. Molly, it's Lin, do you remember me? We met when my brother took me to play when I was little. Little Lin? You've grown up so much since I last saw you. Ha, Molly, you're the one who's grown up. You're so pretty, I bet you have lots of admirers. After glancing at Yifeng, Molly said slowly, no, I still prefer being alone. The plane is about to take off. Yilin, fasten your seatbelt, or you'll fall. 2 hours later, the plane landed safely, and the brother and sister took a taxi to leave. Brother, where are we going now? You have to take me out and show me a good time. You girl, all you know is to play. Let's go home first, and then take you to see the University of Shanghai for Science and Technology. Soon after, the two arrived at Thompson Riviera. Yilin's eyes lit up when she saw the name of the residential area. Brother, you don't own a house here, do you? I've seen online that the houses here are very expensive. You like it? If you like it, I'll give you one when you get married. Stop it, I'm still a baby, but when are you going to introduce me to your wife? You left it unfinished last time. Let's go home first, and we'll meet her when we go to Shanghai University later. When they reached the door, Yifeng took Yilin's fingerprints and iris scans, which made things a bit easier. The two went to their room. Yifeng put down their luggage, got the car keys, and was about to call Yilin when he saw her looking around like a curious baby. Brother, I love the big round bathtub in the bathroom, hee, and this big French window, it's so beautiful. My dear. Brother, can you grant your lovely little sister a small request? Can you let me live in your bedroom? I really like that room, hee. This little robber, on her first day, wanted to take over her own room. Since she was her own sister, Yifeng had to agree. Yay! I knew my brother was the best, hee. Seeing Yilin happy, Yifeng also smiled. Lin, after the semester starts, do you plan to live here or in the dorms? Yilin thought for a moment and said seriously, brother, I still want to live in the dorms. After all, a university that doesn't require students to live on campus is incomplete. I can come back to live here on the weekends. Hee. Okay, whatever you want. Find some time to get your driver's license. When you come back, I'll give you a car, it'll be more convenient. Don't worry, brother, I'll get my license as soon as possible. Hee, I have to choose carefully, so you can bleed a little. Okay, you can pick whatever you like when the time comes. Now let's go to Shanghai University. Yifeng was driving past a flower shop when Yilin shouted to stop. He looked at Yilin in puzzlement. Brother, I'll see you later. Are you going to go to your wife-to-be's place empty-handed? What else? You're such a straight arrow, I don't know how you managed to get your wife-to-be. Get out of the car and go buy her a bunch of roses. Yifeng suddenly realized what was going on and immediately got out of the car and went to the flower shop next door. The shopkeeper was a woman in her 30s. She wasn't particularly pretty, but she exuded an intellectual beauty. Seeing a customer enter the shop, she said enthusiastically, "Young handsome man, are you here to buy flowers?" "Boss, I'd like a bouquet of red roses," Yifeng said. "It seems that young handsome man is going to give them to your girlfriend." "Just a moment, I'll be right back." The shopkeeper neatly took out a bunch of bright red roses from the store and said, "Young man, these are the roses I just put in water. I hope you and your girlfriend will be as happy as these blooming roses." Yifeng said thank you, scanned the QR code to pay, then returned to the car, handed the roses to Yilin in the passenger seat, and drove to Muda University. When they arrived at Muda University, Yifeng was holding the roses in one hand while Yilin was holding his other hand. "Brother, Muda University is really beautiful. Look at the library, it's really cool, and the teaching buildings are also very modern. And the toilets, well, I won't talk about the toilets. Yilin sensibly stopped talking when she saw Yifeng's gradually darkening face. Yifeng was a little thirsty at this time, so he took Yilin to the supermarket. The owner, Zhao Li, was leisurely listening to music and smiled when he saw Yifeng and said, I haven't seen you for a while, it seems like you've been busy lately? Who is this? Seeing Zhao Li's puzzled expression, Yifeng knew that he must have misunderstood, so he explained. Brother Li, this is my younger sister Yilin, who will soon be a student at our Modu University. I brought her here in advance to show her around. You little brat, you scared me. I thought you had a new girlfriend. With all those roses, anyone would be mistaken. What Yifeng didn't know was that he and Yilin had been seen on campus by Li Xiana's roommate, Shernan. Chapter 30 Misunderstanding. In the girls' dormitory, Li Xiana was spacing out, wondering when Brother Feng would be back. He had been gone for many days, and she didn't know if he had been thinking about her. Shernan ran into the dormitory in a hurry, looking at Li Xiana's infatuated expression and not knowing what to say about the scene he had just witnessed. After adjusting his state, Shernan decided to tell her anyway. Xiana, I just saw Yifeng at school. What? Brother Feng is back? Where is he? Li Xiana said with a surprised face, and was about to go out when Shernan grabbed her. Xiana, listen to me, I just saw Yifeng holding a bouquet of roses and a girl together in front of the supermarket. Don't get excited, maybe I might have seen it wrong. Xiana, wait for me. Li Xiana ran quickly to the entrance of the supermarket. Seeing Yifeng sitting there with a girl, she couldn't hold back any longer and burst into tears. Yilin looked at Li Xiana suspiciously and said to Yifeng, Brother, that girl is so strange. She's looking over here and crying. Yifeng looked back and saw it was Li Xiana. He immediately ran over, but was stopped by Shernan before he could get close. Yifeng, I didn't think you were a scumbag too. Xiana likes you so much, but you're still playing with two girls. Do you think you can live with yourself? What's the point of you pretending to be nice now? Go be with your little girlfriend. Xiana, let's go. He's not worth your sadness. Yifeng was at a loss for words. He quickly stopped Li Xiana and was about to explain when Yilin ran over and said, Brother, is this my sister-in-law? Brother? Li Xiana looked at Yifeng with a stunned expression. Before he could say anything, Shernan said, Young lady, what a low-level excuse. You've been found out. You said you were brother and sister, but what about the roses? You said he was your brother, but how can you prove it? Yilin is usually quite naive, but at this moment, she was unusually astute. Pointing at the roses on the table, she said, My brother bought those roses for my sister-in-law. As for brother and sister, that's even simpler. Brother, give me your ID card. He took out his ID card from his bag and handed it to Yi Xiana along with Yifeng's ID card. Sister-in-law, take a look. Do the addresses on the ID cards match? We are siblings from the same parents. Yifeng secretly gave Yilin a thumbs up. It would be a pain if he had to explain. Yi Xiana looked at the two siblings awkwardly. She knew she had misunderstood. Shernan, who was standing nearby, also realized that he had lied about the situation. He said he was sorry and fled. Sister-in-law, come, let's go sit over there, don't stand here. The three sat down, and Yifeng took the roses and put them in front of Li Xiana. Xiana, these roses are for you, I don't know if you like them. After taking the roses, Li Xiana was beaming with happiness, and then whispered, Brother Feng, Lin, I'm sorry, I misunderstood just now. Sister-in-law, it's fine, don't worry about it, do you have time this afternoon, let's go shopping, let brother pay, hee. The atmosphere between the three gradually became more relaxed. When she learned that Yilin would also be entering the Magic City University soon, Li Xiana was even happier. In the future, she would be able to learn more about Brother Feng from her and also get along well with her future sister-in-law. Yifeng saw that they were having a good time chatting, so he booked the Fengming Pavilion for the evening from his phone. Just as he finished booking the location, Shen Haoran's phone rang. Brother Yi, you've invested so much money in my Shen family, but I haven't seen you ask about the progress. Brother Shen, I trust you, and besides, it's not a lot of money. Why did you suddenly call me today? I've already finished packing up the Cloud Villa, you can move in at any time. Also, tomorrow night the Qin family, the #1 family in the demon capital, is hosting a charity dinner. I don't know if you're interested, brother? Yifeng wasn't really interested in the dinner, it was just some kind of business puffery, but he was interested in spending money. Brother Shen, I'll definitely attend tomorrow night. Good, I'll send you the address later, then I'll see you tomorrow night. Soon after hanging up, Shen Haoran sent an address, the Pearl Hotel in the Magic City. Brother, you're going to the dinner tomorrow night? Can you bring me and Xiana? I've never been to a banquet before, okay? Okay, then let's go together tomorrow night. Seeing that Yi Feng had agreed, Yi Lin jumped for joy, grabbed Yi Xiana and went to buy a dress. Yi Feng drove the two women to Wanda Plaza, and the three of them went straight to the luxury goods area. The three of them first went to the Armani store, planning to choose a suit for Yi Feng first. The clerk warmly welcomed Yi Feng as soon as he saw him, having seen his generosity last time. Mr. Yi, welcome to Armani. What can I do for you this time? I will serve you wholeheartedly. After taking a look at the somewhat familiar clerk, Yi Lin preempted Yi Feng's words and said, "Show us the suits." The salesperson led the three of them to the suit area and pointed to a black suit and introduced it. Mr. Yi, this latest suit was personally designed and handmade by Ferrando Armani, Italy's top designer. It is made with the finest materials. Not only is it very comfortable to wear, but it also reflects the best body proportions, and is very suitable for a man of your height. Brother, you should hurry and try it on, I've never seen you wear a suit before. Yi Feng took the suit handed to him by the salesperson and went to the fitting room. After changing and stepping out of the fitting room, he looked at the stunned Li Xiana and Yi Lin and said, "What are you two standing there for? Take a look at this suit. Brother, I just realized how handsome you look in a suit. Ah! It's so dazzling that it's blinded my eyes. What's that saying? People on the road are like jade, and the young master is unparalleled in the world," Li Xiana laughed. Yes, that's the one. Yi Feng looked at Yi Lin and said seriously, "Yes, it is indeed a dog's eye, a single dog." Li Xiana, who was listening, laughed out loud. Yi Lin looked at Yi Feng with dissatisfaction. Sister Xiana, don't you mind your little Fengsy? Has he ever said such a thing about his sister? Okay, you guys pick out two dresses too. Yi Feng quickly changed the subject. In the end, Yi Lin picked out a halter neck dress that made Yi Feng's eyelids jump. If her mother knew about this, she would have to come from Tianjin to the Devil City to lecture her. Yi Lin chose a very conservative dress, but it matched Yi Feng's suit very well. Yi Feng then asked the clerk to match the two of them with a handbag, selected a few accessories, and then paid and left. Brother, how did you and Sister Xiana meet? Yi Feng looked at Yi Lin mysteriously and said, "You want to know? I'll take you somewhere in a bit and you'll find out."